Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the panel. Y'all seen last night. Y'all know it was a jam-packed night in the NBA. It's only 2 games, but it was 2 eventful games with a lot of implications. We'll get into those. You know, I'm up here with my man Mars to the right of me, but we got a special honored guest for today. I got my man Anthony Goods. Man, tell the people who you are, where you from, what you do, and how you do it.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I appreciate the intro, but yeah, I'm one of the co-founders of Switch Cultures from Corona, California. Played basketball at Stanford, and then after that, played overseas about 10, 11 years. So yeah, we started Switch while I was still playing. Me and my partner Jordan and Ashton. So yeah, man, I'm living overseas now. Just catching basketball. Every corner of the globe, man.
Hey, how real is Ron? Let me put something on your mind, Mars. So I've been out.
We don't gotta do this.
Practice start at 11 o'clock. I've been outside the gym since 10:15, and this dude gonna ask me if I'm coming to practice. He got the door locked to the gym, by the way, and I've been outside the gym for the last 45 minutes, and he gonna ask me where I'm at.
Y'all, Chill got the keys to the gym. At least
I don't. If I had the keys to the gym, yeah, dude gonna leave me and they ask me why I ain't in practice. I've been outside for 45 minutes waiting for you to open the gym.
We know he an L host. Like we
exactly. Like this is normal procedures. This happens every day. I'm sorry for
No, you good.
Family business. You know how that goes.
And on top of that, we got company. And I don't even know who we got company now. And I'm sorry if you walk. This is how welcome to the family. This is how our family is.
I'll make sure to send you the Chill with Chill host or link late too. So it'll just be me on Chill with Chill for about 5 to 10 minutes. So y'all pull up and check us out.
Anyway. Nice to meet you, brother. What's going on?
Nice to meet you. How you doing?
What's up, Moss? You scumbag.
Great, thanks.
But yeah, man. So, what made you get into what it is that you do?
Basically, I had like a podcast a long time ago interviewing overseas basketball players. My partner Jordan, he was putting up highlights of his workouts at the time, and I thought it was corny. Like nobody was really putting up highlights of workouts and stuff like that. And then we had played together, and then
Did you tell him it was corny?
Nah, I didn't tell him.
Stop doing that.
I was letting him kill himself. You know what I'm saying? And then he hit me. He was like, "Hey, bro, we should do highlights for overseas basketball players." I was like, "Man, that's a good idea. Like, let's do it." So that day, the first 2 highlights of Switch Cultures went up from my apartment, and came home in the summer, started filming the NBA open runs and the workouts through some of our connections in LA, and then it just started to snowball from there, man. But yeah, that's pretty much in short. That's how Switch Cultures came about.
Do you remember? I mean, you know how that is. Like, obviously, Nike started with 1 pair of shoes. You know, Baden basketball started with 1 basketball. You always start with one thing. But I want to ask, do you remember who the first 2 highlights were?
Yeah, it was Eloy Vargas. He's a Dominican player. He was playing in France, and then Charles Cahoudi. He's a French player playing in France right now. He's playing in Euroleague at Asvel still. But he's at Asvel. He's at Asvel. So yeah, man,
you're gonna ask if you played with Wemby, Ron? You're gonna ask if you played with Wemby?
Nah. That would be the next question, Ron. Because
did he play with Wemby?
Yeah, how about that, Ron?
Yeah, did he play with Wemby?
Yeah. Cahoudi been there. He's been there years, probably decades. Shit.
Nice.
What's good, y'all? What's up?
What's happening?
Hello.
What's going on? What's up, Ox? What's up? And so, what would you say? Like, was it just a matter of, for you? Was it just putting out content, or do you think it was that one specific player or highlight that just took y'all off?
Nah, man. I think it was really just. I think it was the access. I think getting plugged up. Like I knew Phil Handy from back when I was in college, man. Phil used to train me when I was at Stanford, and then so we came home that summer, and Phil was working out some NBA guys, and Phil was like, "Look, I don't let nobody film my workouts, but because it's you, I'm gonna let it rock." And then we filmed Tristan Thompson that day. And then we started filming for Chris Johnson, and Chris Johnson had all the NBA guys in the summer. So then it just started to blow up from there. But I really think what took it to the next level was NBA Summer League, because nobody was really filming Summer League with a camera back then. And we was like the first media entity at the time to really do that. And that's when we started to see a real uptick in our following.
And once again, I got to say this to the chat and everybody out there. If you haven't heard of Swiss culture, you're living under two rocks. But if you haven't, you have for sure seen his content. You've seen something that he's done, because his stuff is everywhere. And it's really what he does is elite. It's really one of one. And a lot of people have kind of, taken what he's done and ran with it too. But he's one of the originators, one of the first people to really do it and make it accessible to everybody. And obviously, like, if you're a real hoop head, it's nothing better. Like, it's cool watching those condensed games, it's cool going back and watching highlights, but it's nothing like watching your favorite player. For instance, let's just take Mars and Jalen Green, him going and watching a Jalen Green clip from front to back, and you really get to see how guys is getting busy. And then on top of that, it's a little commentating in there too. It's a little commentating. So
I'm gonna keep it real though, man. Like, I think as much as I love Swish, we part of the problem, bro. Like, this whole highlight culture that everybody be talking about, man, we part of the problem. And I know it, man. It's like owning a liquor store, you know what I mean, in a black neighborhood. You're doing wrong, but
business is good, but we definitely part of the problem. We ain't all.
Here's the thing though, too, Swish. It's two things to that. So I'm gonna address the liquor store part first. They gonna go get alcohol no matter what. Okay, if you don't do it, they gonna go to the Chinese neighborhood. They gonna go to the Russian neighborhood. They gonna go find that alcohol somewhere. But also, too, on top of that, as much as it might be the problem, we love highlights. It's basketball. We call it what it is. We love to see that bag. We love to see it no matter what.
Definitely do.
So who is somebody that we don't know about that we should pay attention to?
Oh, there's a kid in France, Nathan Solomon, who's Nathan Solomon.
Is he French?
Yeah, he's French.
Over there? Okay.
No, he's French. But yeah, he the next one up. He the next one up.
How old is he?
He 14, 15 right now. But he playing at like U18s and like he doing his thing. Okay. But yeah, he got all the hype right now. They say like, he got the same type of hype, not as much as Victor, but like there hasn't been a prospect with nearly as much as Victor, but like he would probably be like the next one out of the last like 10, 15 years. So
talk to us a little bit about what is he, height, position?
He's 6'8" right now. He's a hybrid forward, kid 14. Like ain't no telling what he gonna tap out at. He's athletic. You could tell his body gonna fill out. He's gonna be legit. He gonna be legit for sure. Do a little bit of everything.
Who in the Euroleague? Because it sounds to me like you don't just pay attention to the Euroleague, but basketball in Europe in particular. Who over there are we not paying attention to that we need to pay attention to? Because there's guys over there that are ballers. I want to make clear. People think that just because in the NBA you play in Europe that you're not a baller. That's not true at all. There's hoopers that play in Europe. Can you give me some guys that we haven't been paying attention to that maybe we need to put some eyes on?
I mean, I think there's some guys in EuroLeague in particular that we had eyes on them for a hot second, and then they came over, and now they've grown and matured. When you talk about like a Wade Baldwin, Hazonia's been a monster this year. Yeah. Designing Musa, I think there's so many players that Marcus Howard's playing out of his mind right now. Like, I mean, he's had like 6 30-point games, and last I don't know how, and he's shooting 10 threes a game, bro.
Where's he at?
He's in Baskonia in Spain, and he's shooting 10 threes a game, and he's shooting 40% from three, like, and he's not shooting like wide open ones. He's pulling that thing. He got a neon green light. So, but I think in regards to any of these players, making it back stateside, it all comes down to fit. There has to be a team, and not even just the fit, but the coach got to like you. not even just the GM, but the coach got to like you and you got to want to use you. So it's a very complex dynamic, for these guys to get back, along with, not even speaking about contracts and buyouts, right. But those guys for sure, man, they've been hooping for, and that's just a few of them. But that's
a lot of people think that a guy that plays in the Euroleague can just transition to the NBA game, and a guy that plays in the NBA can just transition to the Euroleague. The game is so different over there. A lot more action, a little bit more physical, right? Mm-hmm. In terms of shooting the long ball, I mean, I think that translates. But the other stuff is, and you just mentioned it, fit. If a coach likes you, if a coach doesn't like you, if a coach likes you, but he can't play you because maybe management wants to go in a different direction. Mm-hmm. All of those things factor in.
Yeah, and I think one thing we sleep on with, and I'm speaking more so for the European guys that come over, because I was having this conversation. Like, you look at somebody like Micic, right? Micic comes over. He was a phenomenal shooter overseas. He's been struggling to shoot the ball in the NBA this year. And then Fontecchio, who's at Detroit, he had the same problem his first year. He came over. He struggled to shoot the ball. And I don't think, like, we really pay attention. And I'm not sure NBA front offices pay attention, but, like, this kid has never shot an NBA ball before. And, like, shooters are real finicky. Like, he's got to touch right. Sometimes, that ball's heavier. You know what I mean? The seams. Some guys over there playing with the Bolton, they got like 100 seams on it. Like, so you've been playing with that ball. It's not like you in the States and you playing open gym and somebody bring the NBA rock. So it's like, I think that that takes some adjustment. And I think that, a guy like Micic, who's shot the ball well his entire career, he's just going to need another year. So once he adds his shooting to everything else he's doing well over there in Charlotte, I think he's going to explode. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of nuances
what about a guy like Sasha Vezenkov, who was the MVP last year over there? And I didn't really think he was playing bad this season. I mean, Coach Brown kind of iced him for a while, and he gets minimal minutes now. But I thought he was giving us good minutes at the beginning of the season. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I mean, Sasha can play the game, man. He a smart player, but I mean, when you got Sabonis playing as well as he is, and you got Murray, like, it's like, where are you gonna get those minutes? And then, defensively, I've always been curious to see how he's gonna defend, at the NBA level. So it's like, defensively, there's some concerns there as well. But he just kind of came at a wrong time, when guys are kind of having their best years. Your minutes are gonna get cut short. So, it's it just is what it is.
And that's where it gets tricky, because a guy like Sasha, like, if you catch him somewhere else, he might look like the best player in the gym. But he's in this situation in Sacramento where, like, why is this guy even here? When in reality, this dude is a baller for real. He can knock down the long ball. He can play in the mid-range. He's got a real good offensive game. But the fact that he's playing in this system in Sacramento, it kind of makes him look less than. And I think it's a lot of players that are like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Micic looked like that at OKC. He wasn't playing. OKC is so guard heavy. He wasn't playing. And then he gets to Charlotte, and now he blossoms. And like I said, he's not even shooting the ball well. He's still out there getting 17 and 10 and 12 assists and all that other stuff. Like, so I think it's a lot of it is opportunity. And I think Sac could use a player like a Vezenkov, especially, like, as we seen last night, as much as they were hitting the short roll and everything else like that. I think, in the way Vezenkov cuts off the ball and he shoots it with a quick trigger, he could definitely help a team out. But it's all about fit, man. It ain't talent.
Mars, you've actually talked about I gotta make sure I get his name right.
Vasily Micic.
That's him, Micic. Mars, you've actually talked about him before. I haven't really paid much attention to him because Oklahoma City basically got a bomb squad full of guards. So I'm automatically just thinking, can he play? Can he not play? Why hasn't he cracked the rotation? He's a Euro, because when you get the Euro tag, that's also tricky too. But you talked about him a lot.
He's looked good in Charlotte from the limited time I've watched Charlotte since Melo went down. He's looked good. So did Trey Mann. Both of them kind of got freed from the OKC purgatory of 2 minutes a game, and they both look good. Now Davis Bertans went over there. He hasn't looked as great, but those two in particular, I think. I think they found a team. I think they're going to be in Charlotte for a little while. I think it's good for them.
Yeah.
Yo, Anthony, how do you feel about? So we talked about Solomon and whatnot. How do you think that trend's going to continue to go in terms of these younger players coming over and really just taking over the NBA? Obviously, you got Wemby, who this was his first year. You got Luka, Jokic, and the list goes Giannis. The list goes on. Well, how do you see that going?
I don't think a lot more. I mean, when you talk about it's just their time right now. You remember a time in the 90s when New York City had all the point guards, you know what I mean? And we ain't seen one since.
We living in a Euro era now. Is that what it
that's
is?
what it is right now. Like they just got the superstars coming out. Like, you know, Wemby obviously just it's his length and you know his skill set is crazy. Luka's IQ and Jokic's IQ. You know, I just think right now it's their time, and I think the whole basketball world's gonna switch right now because of NIL. You got a bunch of these Euro kids coming over to the States to play because of the money, and I think it can help or hurt them. I'm not sure what it's going to be. You know, we'll see like down the road, but the whole basketball world is switching now. Like, whereas Luka played and stayed in Real Madrid until he was ready to come to the league, like these kids are leaving now. They going, it's hard to pass up on 500,000. I don't care where you at and how much you making, like, you know, so.
Why is it, and maybe it's my generation, why is it that these guys are not as accepting of these Euros as they should be? Because when I think about Joker, when I think about Giannis, I think about Tony Kukoc, I think about Detlef Schrempf, right? I think about Marshallonis. Even though they were from Europe, I'm like, yo, Marshallonis is nice as hell. I don't care if he's from Lithuania or if he was from Las Vegas. This dude is a baller. But the fact that these guys are European, why aren't we accepting? Because basketball is considered universal, and it doesn't matter where you from, how you look. The only question we ask if you're a baller, can he play? If you're Chinese, I don't care what he is. So I don't understand why, particularly my generation, why aren't you guys more accepting of these guys? I don't get it.
Yeah, that's a good question. And I think a lot of us is probably, you know, we still stuck in the past a little bit. I mean, I think European basketball has become more like the NBA, and I think the NBA has become a lot more like European basketball. And I think that transition is easier for players on both sides. That being said, I mean, the NBA is the longest and most athletic league in the world, you know, and I think that's what most people are afraid of because there's zero athleticism in Europe outside of France, basically. But I mean, the way the game is played, the way they call them fouls and things like that, you can get by with IQ. You look at Şengün, you look at Jokic and all these other guys, like they ain't passing the eye test athletically, but you know they got the skill and the fundamentals.
You fight that, Mars? That Şengün, when you from the eye test, when you look at him, that you know he's not blowing you away with his athleticism, but when you get on the floor with him, you're like, damn, this dude nice as hell.
Yeah, he's not a ridiculous athlete. You give him a runway, he can get up. But
yeah, for sure.
He's not anything crazy. But to answer your question, Joe, about why I think people don't accept the foreign-born players, I think fans, typical like regular fans, I think for the most part they do. I think the mainstream media has a hard time of accepting the European players because I think it's upsetting the status quo of what the NBA has been. Like maybe guys like Tony Kukoc and Drazen Petrovic and Detlef Schrempf were accepted because they weren't a threat to Michael Jordan. They weren't a threat to the man in the league. But now you got Jokic and Giannis and Luka. Like that might be the three best players in the world. The NBA is an American league plus Canada with Toronto, and the best players in the league aren't from America. I think that's what bothers people. If the league just had a bunch of Bogdanoviches, just very nice role players who are European, I don't think Stephen A or the mainstream media would have a problem with. But when these are the best guys in the world, and now the best American player might be the 7th best player on the planet, kind of have a problem with that, I think. But I don't know that for sure. That's just my opinion on the matter.
Keep going.
No, I was just gonna say it sounds a lot like, remember what boxing used to be? It used to be like all the top fighters was American, like Tyson and all them guys.
Then
it was Floyd, Canelo, Pacquiao, and then they just started to fizzle out, and then now everybody watching UFC.
Sure.
So I wonder what impact that would have. That's a good point, Mark.
Well, Mars, to your point about the fact that they're threatening they're challenging the throne, well, wouldn't that mean, considering how competitive basketball is, yo, my game needs to be better? And I got to look at what these dudes are doing, because there's a reason Joker didn't just show up and he's the best player in the league, right? Who am I thinking about? Luka didn't just show up and one of the best players. Giannis didn't show up and he's just one of the best players. These guys developed into this. So as an American-born player, maybe I do have to do what the Europeans did, which is pay attention to what we were doing, because they basically took pages out of what we were doing. That's how they became that. So as an American-born player, I got to pay attention. All right, what are these guys doing? How much more tactical are they? How much more? Why is this dude as sharp as he is? And if I can get that in my game, because athletically I can compete with him, and if I can do that, then why can't I be that good in terms of my skill level? Because I'm not with this whole ideology of you're a European player. The league can't get behind a European player being the face of the NBA. That's nonsense. Because even though Giannis, if he was from Chicago, he'd be on billboards all over the place. So what? So that doesn't make a difference. The fact that he's European, he's a baller. And these I feel like American-born players, maybe we can take a page out of a lot of these guys' books and get better and compete a little bit more, as opposed to just accepting that, all right, this is what it is.
Yeah, maybe. But it's easier in theory to people to see something working that goes against everything they know and then adjust to it. But then in practice, I mean, a lot of people are stuck in their ways. I mean, just going back through history, I mean, a bunch of civilizations didn't just, what they're doing works, so let's just copy that. The only competent civilization that even did that was the Romans. They were just fine. If this works against us, we're just gonna copy that and then do it. But everyone else usually we gonna fight with our spears. We don't care that you guys got these bow and arrows now. We got our spears. That's just what they're gonna do. It's a pride thing. You don't want to have to change. You don't want to change how you've done things for 20 years because some guy who's a center who can pass the ball is now ruining everything for you. You don't want to have to deal with that. So you're just gonna keep doing what you do. I think it's a pride thing. I think, but I also think NBA players are more accommodating to the European players. I think the biggest problem is the people who have the loudest voices. They're the ones who seem to have the problem with it. I mean, the fact that I'm hearing, who's the next face of the NBA, and I'm hearing Anthony Edwards. No disrespect to Anthony Edwards, but come on, what we doing? You clearly just don't want to say a non-American is the face of the league. Which, I mean, I guess it's an American league, but if you're doing everything in your power to avoid giving credit where it's due to the foreign-born players, I think you're doing a disservice to your platform.
Chill. Part of what you had said too about us adopting like they are. You got to understand it's two different games too, and two different upbringings. America, especially, and you gotta go to the lower levels. AAU, high school, and even the NBA. I'm gonna leave college out of it because college is more of a European game because it's just tighter, more compact, more defense. Right. But these kids is basically playing a free flow game.
Where'd they get it from, though, Ron? But that's the question, though, Ron. Where'd they get it? The Europeans. Where these Euros get it from? Where'd they get bounce passes from? Where'd they get slip screens from?
They got it from the highest level. They got it from their highest levels.
So how did we get away from that? How did we get away from that?
AAU was a bad time for, and it's good for exposure, and it's good for these kids to be able to play, but you essentially just rolling the ball out in this open gym. And it's the NBA, it's very complex. I'm not trying to water down what the NBA is, but the NBA is a lot like that too. It's very simple. Because these guys are so smart and they know what they're doing, and they pros and they skill levels to the highest level. Right. It's a lot of one-on-one and fast break oriented type of game. Space the floor out, and we just gonna hoop.
That's but it's not necessarily a problem though, an issue anymore. That's just what the game is now. So it's not like they're playing bad basketball. They're just playing what basketball is now. So that's I don't.
They who.
I mean the younger generation, like what Ron was saying, like AAU. That's not bad basketball anymore. That might have been bad basketball in 2013, but that's basketball now.
I'm not saying it's bad basketball. What I'm saying is that's what
I'm cool with that. I feel you, but that's just how I was brought up. I was brought up playing a different style of basketball from what it is today. But I got to accept that because I got to stay with the times in order to be able to stay on. Keep a clipboard.
That part I could get. That part I could get with. But Ox, because the neighborhood now dirty and it's been dirty for the last 10 years. Well, you just got to accept that the neighborhood dirty. That's what the neighborhood look like now. Wait a minute, the neighborhood wasn't always nasty. The neighborhood was actually nice at one point. We don't have to accept that this is what it is, and we can get back to what basketball was. Don't get me wrong.
It's fun though, Chia. They like it. It's fun. It's exciting. You know.
And that's why the best players in the NBA today are Euros. That's why the best players in the NBA are from other places for exactly what you just said. Because we let the neighborhood go to you know what. We let the neighborhood just be wild. We didn't do anything about it. We didn't adapt, like you just said. We didn't adapt. We didn't adapt with the times. We didn't get with the skill level that was coming over. And by the way, this isn't something that just happened like a year or two ago. Ginobili and that Olympic team, they showed us all of these teams. They showed us this is the future of basketball. I'm not saying that you got to catch the basketball and do a bounce pass like it's 1965. No, I'm not saying that. But it's obvious that the game has changed, and it's obvious that these guys, Luka, Giannis, Joker, Sengun, all of these guys. They've implemented the fundamentals into the game. In addition to implementing the fundamentals into the game, they've expanded their skill set, which makes them look so much better. So I'm confident that if you could do that, well, damn, I can do that too.
Right. And there is still also a lot of good AAU programs out there too, though. So it's a lot of good coaches out there still, holding players accountable, making them, fundamentally play ball.
I think one thing that kind of ruined youth basketball, and I don't want to say ruined, but I mean, I think it diminished a little bit, was I think the whole hand checking, getting rid of hand checking in the league, I think trickled down to youth sports, because, you see what's a foul in the NBA and then everybody kind of copies that, and that makes it a lot harder to play defense. And, I see kids today, and I just don't think that they're defending like that. And I also think that the trainer era, that booming has gotten kids away from playing open gym. You know what I mean? When I was at Stanford, we played open gym like literally 6 days a week. And I remember I came back 2 or 3 years later, and they like, oh yeah, we only play like 4 times. And then I came back a year later, it was like 3 times. And then it came all the way down to like 2 times a week. And I'm like, what is y'all doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? And I think too, I'm gonna say this, like, politically correct or not, the anti-bullying movement, man. You know what I mean? I think you ain't got no bullies no more, man. You ain't got to take the long way home no more.
Like, we don't have nobody asking dudes to come outside no more. We don't have that. We don't see dudes doing that no more. We don't.
You could pull up the school. Remember the what was it, Chaps? The Ralph Lauren Chaps logo, and it wasn't polo. Like, you couldn't do that back in the day. Like, now everybody get a pass. Everybody get a pass, man, and it's not cool anymore. So I think the anti-bullying movement has just trickled down to the youth, and everybody's nicer. It's probably a nicer world, but at the same time, basketball is a competitive sport. And we see that the dogs rise to the top, and everybody else is just a role player. So, we got a league full of Robins, man. And
so how you feel about NBA players getting fans kicked out of games for heckling them?
I mean, it's I think
you be over there too, so you
that's what I'm saying. I got a different perspective. Hey, bro, I was in the game.
Throw something at you,
Bro, I was at a game.
Oh, let's get him off the floor. Boom.
I played in Venezuela, bro, and like at the time it was like the second most murderous country in the world. The fans had the heat on them, and they would flash on you. Like,
they wouldn't flash the heat on you while you was on the floor, yo.
Nah,
yeah, they call your name. They call your name. They call your name. Let you know what they hold it.
What?
I promise you. Listen, I'm gonna put everything into perspective. In Venezuela, like, the amount of murders that Chicago has in a year, Chirac, whatever we want to call it, Venezuela has that in a week.
So it's wild over there. Super
it's crazy.
Wild over there.
So, like, and then the police, they didn't have guns in the arenas. Only the fans did, because they don't want to aggravate the fans. It was a crazy situation. So I think that in regards to what I've seen, like a couple of years ago, I seen they were throwing lighters on the court, and the security guard thought it was a lighter, so he stepped on it. It was a firecracker, and it went off under his foot. Like, so when we start talking about like fans heckling players and all that other stuff, like, I don't know. I think I've seen and I've been through worse. So I mean, I probably wouldn't react the same way. But yeah, fans do be out of line, and I I don't appreciate that at all, because at the end of the day, if they weren't behind that velvet rope, it'd be a whole different story. That tone will change.
And to your point about, I used to live in the Bay Area, and I used to go up to Stanford, and we used to run when they had Chris Weems and Arthur Lee,
my dog,
Casey Jacobson. That was some Mark Madsen is a really good friend of mine. That was some of the best runs, and that was when I was chasing the dream too. And it was serious. Mike Montgomery was the head coach up there, so that was a great time, man. I don't even know where you pull up today. I mean, I don't play basketball anymore, but if I did, I don't even know where you would go get a run. Where do you go get a run at today, where it's competitive?
Yeah.
Like, where do you ask dudes to come outside? Like, you nice, let's come outside. Where's that going on at today?
It's invite only. It's not, at least in the areas I be at. When I was in Arizona, I was in Portland, up here in Seattle, even down in Cali. It's invite only. Like you gotta be in a certain text group.
It's about who you know. It's about who you know.
Exactly. It's not like, and I remember during the times where it was like, obviously this is an elite run and this is where we're gonna be at. And I mean, you could pull up, but you probably just not gonna play if you're not to that level. But at this point now, it's like you won't even know if you're not in the know.
Hey Ron, I don't want to be disrespectful. Can we please get to it? Let's get to it, man. Because what I saw last night, was I saw my father pull the belt out. Like, come here and get this ass whooped.
Yeah, man. I'm about to dive into it.
My bad, y'all. Like I said, we got a real special guest today, so we had to, we had to talk to my man, because he does something special for the basketball community. He really has a treasure for everybody. So we had to dive into that first.
Absolutely.
But before we go ahead and hit that transition button, let me tell you guys to scan this QR code, grab your PC merch, look a little nicer tomorrow than you do today. Not saying that you don't look good today, but you could look better tomorrow. Go ahead, scan this QR code, become an X-Casual. Check out our merch site. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's in here. Slap that like button if you haven't. Shout out to all of our new members. We got a couple today. We got a lot of new members today. Shout out everybody that's trickling in. Big Mont 76. Big Mont 76 became a member twice today. Y'all probably can't see it, but I can see it here. He became a member at 11:35 and 11:43. Shout out Big Mont. You paying his dues twice. S became a member today. JJTV, Gohan 221, Uncle Drew number 11. Shout out Uncle Drew. Florida Boy D became a member today, and I can't make this type stuff up. He became a member twice too, 2:44 and 2:47 a.m. Oh, okay, shout out Florida Boy D. He tapping into us early in the morning. Shout out to him. Nino became a member. Caleb Parker became a member, and also G-Man 775 all became a member. Shout out to all of our new members. We appreciate y'all over here. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the party. We're going to turn up for y'all. But with no further ado, we're going to start with the Lakers and Pelicans game. It was the first play-in game, and it set the tone for the play-in tournament. The Lakers jumped up, and they held the lead for a big majority of the game. But the Pelicans, in typical Pelican fashion, came storming back. Zion had a hell of a game. LeBron played all right. AD, he came up clutch. But I want you guys to tell me about what you've seen in that game and how you feel about it, thoughts and all of that good stuff.
That the play-in shouldn't exist.
Why not?
Because Zion is now hurt. He would have just been in the playoffs, would have been nice and rested for round one against the Denver Nuggets. But now we don't even know if he's going to play in the second playing game, which now means New Orleans might end up missing the playoffs after getting the 7th seed because Zion got hurt in a game that he shouldn't have even had to play in the first place. But nah, let's just entertain these fans. So now you get the 7 seeds. You might miss the playoffs because in one game, your best player or second best player, but we'll say best player because he played great last night, got hurt. That's stupid. The game shouldn't exist. But nah, let's just entertain these random people who don't even care about him. And now he's got a hamstring strain, which I know how bad hamstring strains are, especially for a guy as explosive as Zion. And people are going to expect him to play in that Kings game.
No.
And I'm just going to put it out there. If Zion does play and he plays great, all power to him. But there's no reason he should be playing in that game. If you get a hamstring strain and you can't come back in a clutch game like that one last night that meant all of that, there's no way you can play with 1 day rest. There's no way. Like, I don't believe that's possible. But hey, at least the fans got what they wanted. An entertaining game, I guess. It's wonderful.
And on top of that, Mars, don't leave out the fact, Mars, that we were one game out of not being in the play-in tournament. By the way, let's make sure we remember that part. We were one game about not being in the play-in tournament. Number two, if you go back and look at the history of the play-in tournament, you can't, because it's nowhere. If you go look up what happened in 2021 in the play-in tournament, you can't find it because there's no record of it. If you go back and look at the 2022, you can't find it because it's not recorded. Man, give me a break with the play-in tournament. But sure, the game was entertaining last night. And the fact that Zion got hurt, that kind of threw a monkey wrench in everything that they were doing. The Pelicans. CJ has always played better off the ball, but we couldn't really see it because Zion's been hurt so much. The fact that they got Zion at the lead guard spot now and their primary ball handler, we would have seen that a couple of years ago had he been healthy, and CJ could have played off the ball a little bit more, because that's where he's always been the most effective. But we live in this combo guard era where a guy where we don't differentiate a guy who can pass as opposed to a guy who passes, like Devin Booker, for example. Devin Booker is a guy who can pass. He's not a passer. CJ McCollum is a guy who can pass. He's not a passer. That's not his game. He plays better off the ball. He played better off the ball with Dame. He would have played better off the ball with Zion had Zion been healthy, because they would have put Zion at the lead guard spot. Now, as far as the Lakers defense, I've already said this to you guys. I accept the fact that Anthony Davis is a defender who can score. I accept that now, who he is. All those 32 and 14 games, 37 and 15, 37 and 18, those are anomalies. He's a guy who's a defender first, who then can score. He cleans glass with the best of them, rim protects with the best of them, mans the paint with the best of them, and then he scores, which is what happened last night. You put James at the lead guard spot. Not only do you put James at the lead guard spot, you have him chasing around Zion, which wore him down, by the way. That's why he couldn't shoot the basketball like he did a couple of nights ago. Wore him down, but they were able to survive that. And we got to start talking about how good D'Angelo Russell has been for this Laker team. We haven't talked nearly as much about how good he's been. You guys have roasted D'Angelo Russell this whole season, talked about how bad he is and needs to be traded. He's had the best three-point season that the Lakers have had, I think, in their history. Nobody has shot the long ball better than him. Nobody has made more long balls better than him this season. And with Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis playing that pick and pop game, they looked really good last night. I feel like New Orleans took, and I don't want to go on a tangent here, but I feel like New Orleans, I think they took all of their energy getting back in the game last night. And I feel like with another lead guard, I think that they could have actually won that game. And the fact that Zion broke down, that was the difference in the game. And lastly, I'm going to say I'm out on Brandon Ingram. I'm out.
Yo, Anthony, right quick. It is a whole anti-bullying society unless you play for the Lakers. Then everything goes.
Nah, that's a fact.
Shout out D'Lo though, playing through, fan criticism and all the pressure and whatnot. But talk to me about what you've seen during this game.
Yeah, first I want to go ahead and say, since Chitchat brought it up, I gotta apologize to D'Lo. Because y'all know I was the main one calling D'Lo week. I've been calling D'Lo week for years now. Like, he's been showing out. He's been playing great this year. He did his thing this season, played great last night. Also, I was happy to see Zion took some advice yesterday. Put your shoulder down and get to the rim. Zion got to attack like that. I liked what I've seen from Zion. Also, Mars, you're right. The play-in should not exist, because it's crazy to think that Zion got hurt in the play-in game when they were almost the 6th seed. That's crazy. Although we are about to capitalize off the play-in.
Same thing happened to the Clippers.
It's weak. That's weak, but I don't like that.
That was with
but
Paul
I mean,
George,
but
right?
when Paul George couldn't play in the second game
That's
because
right.
of COVID protocols,
That's
but
right.
there shouldn't have been a second playing game.
They should have been in the playoffs.
But I mean, hey, like you said though, that's what the fans wanted. Adam Silver, he's a commissioner that listens. If they want to have more this, more that, he's trying new innovative things, and that's just basketball. Sometimes you're gonna get hurt. So who's to say that he wouldn't have got hurt in game one anyway? You know what I mean? But still, I hate to see that it happened in the playing game. It was some good basketball. That's what I was saying yesterday. I'm just happy there was some good basketball. It went both ways. Zion showed out. I'm definitely not out on BI, but I need more from him in a game like that.
You remember he's just come back from an injury, and he's
true. That's true.
That's why I'm out on him, Mars, for that reason.
He's very clearly not in shape. You can see he's also not in shape.
Right.
I had my concerns about BI with bone contusions based on last year when he had a bone contusion, but I just don't think he had it last night. I think there's a quickness that he's lacking. Normally, at least like there was a level of agility that if you cut him off, he can get to another move, get to us. Now he's just rising up on the first bump. At least before there was like other things he could get to. Right. There's just something missing with him. But that's why I got to give Willie Green credit. He went with guys who were playing well. He went with a smaller lineup, got Valanciunas out the game because Valanciunas was just getting run ragged and it wasn't providing what you needed from him on the glass and at the rim. So he went small, more switching. And that really, I'm going to use Chill's term, that really helped speed the game up for the Pelicans. That's what got Zion really going in that third quarter in transition. And it really helped him come back in the game.
Quick.
That's amazing.
That boy in transition, I think he's second to Giannis. And that's it. And he might have Giannis. Y'all seen that boy start going coast to coast? I'm talking about
Zion's a one of a kind of athlete. You can't. I can't explain some of the things I see Zion do. It's ridiculous.
What was that at the end of the first quarter? It was 5 seconds left. He went across the coast.
End of the half. It was end of the half. It was the end of the half.
LeBron reached for no reason.
That was crazy.
But some of the my concern with Zion was, he's gonna go left and he's gonna finish left every time. So if you're gonna do that, playoff schemes, you can match up for that. But the issue is, he's so explosive and so strong that even when where he's going, he can absorb the contact and he can still finish. And that's something that I guess I either neglected to realize, or I thought teams could overcome it. But the amount of times I'm seeing teams sit on his left hand, he's absorbing the bump, and then he still has enough elevation and body control and touch to still finish. Zion's ridiculous, man. He's a special player.
It's not a coincidence, Mars, that the reason why, and by the way, Big Ox, I said they were one game out the 6th spot. Actually, they were one game out the 5 spot. My apologies. And the reason why they were as good as they were, it's not a coincidence that Zion played the most games in his career this season. That's one of the main reasons why. And to your point, Mars, when you talk about him absorbing the contact, I think about football. Zion is that running back who we're going to keep running the ball. We're going to keep running the ball, and we're going to keep pounding on you. And eventually, you are going to crumble. That's who he is when he gets to the rim. I'm going to keep beating up on your big man. I'm going to keep beating up on your big man. And come the third, the fourth quarter, it's like, damn, here he come again. Here he comes again. And those layups, they don't look as hard as they did in the first or the second quarter because you was fresh. But in the third or the fourth quarter, when you're not as fresh, he's just continuously beating up on you. He's the difference in them winning and losing.
Hey, Chill, what'd you call AD just a second ago?
He's a defender who can score.
Okay, so defender first.
Yes,
I think we would all comfortably say AD's a top 3 defender in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did y'all see how Zion was putting AD in the chamber?
Beating up on him.
There's nothing you can do with someone who's that explosive and that strong. There's nothing you can do.
Mars, my thing is, and I get it. I'm like, Zion is 6'6", 6'7" max. AD is damn near 7 foot. Athletic, strong, somewhat long. It's no way. Just looking at it, I'm like, it's no way Zion is putting this man in the chamber like this every time, no matter what. Nothing you can do about it. I'm Zion Williamson. I'm getting what I want. Fine. Anthony Davis, you not stopping me. Brian, you not stopping me. Your whole team's not stopping me.
Ron, that's what I was saying yesterday. If he get AD switched on him, you got to go at him too, right at his chest. Make him do something. He was doing it. He tried to carry him. How far did they go down? 16?
They were down. 16. Yeah, I think they were down 16. Yeah,
16. Yeah, you put the squad on your back.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Anthony, you got any thoughts on this game?
Man, I didn't catch the game last night because it was super late, but I caught the second one. But I think I agree with AD, man. I think he's a terrific defender, but he got his hands full, man. Zion now he's running up against Jokic. There's some heavy guys that can finish through you, and I think Zion's unique in that he can just finish over the top. And obviously, when Zion gets downhill, it's over. Especially the way they call him fouls now, and you ain't got nobody that's strong enough to guard him. He's probably too slow, and then vice versa if he's quick enough. So, but yeah, the Pelicans in trouble without Zion. I think it's over. It's over.
That hamstring. I didn't know it was a hamstring injury, Mars. That's weeks. That's not something
you're not coming back from that.
No,
I've seen James Harden try to come back from a hamstring in 2021. He did not look good, and I think that ruined his career.
Yeah,
Zion, you're like 24. don't put anything at jeopardy for a play.
And then Zion's game is downhill and explosion. Like he's not a skill guy that like JH can get by shooting threes and whatnot. But yeah, I think he's in a tough spot with that hamstring, bro.
I didn't know it was a hamstring. The hamstring is the difference. I mean, you pull that hamstring again. That's not a week injury or 2 week injury. He could be out for a month. If this was January, he'd be out for a month. And he's the difference in whether or not they go far. It's the reason why they were as good as they were this year, because he was playing. Now, if he's not able to play, now that's more onus on Brandon Ingram, who obviously isn't as sharp. Now, remember when I said I'm out on Brandon Ingram? I'm out on Brandon Ingram in these playoffs. Brandon Ingram really doesn't do much besides score. He's pretty useless when he's not scoring the basketball.
No, he had a couple good passes last night. You ain't see that.
Brandon Ingram's I think Brandon Ingram's that best passer, but
he was facilitating last night too.
You think so, Mark? Better than Zion?
Yes, but I've been praising you. Well, I don't know if you heard me. I've been praising Brandon Ingram's passing like the whole year. Maybe it's because I'm a Jason Tatum. Hey, I remember I said I think he's a better passer than Jason Tatum. I think he's a really good passer.
Pass he threw to Zion
on the baseline.
He threw two of them in the same game. The same exact baseline cut from Zion.
And I'm not saying that he can't pass. I'm saying that he doesn't really do much else. I'm not saying that he can't pass. I probably got to pay more attention to his passing. The thing I pay attention to a lot with him is his bucket getting. And I feel like if he's not doing that, then he's really not doing much else if he can't do that. But it's obvious that he can. What I'm saying with him, though, is if he's not sharp and he's not healthy, which he's not, because he looks slow out there. I don't know if I'm getting old. I mean, I can still see, even without these glasses, I can still see. And I can see that this dude, looking at him, he looked slow last night.
Mm-hmm.
He looked disengaged last night. He didn't look like Brandon Ingram. Like when he got the ball, when he faced up, he didn't look like I can take this guy. I can get whatever I want with this guy. He didn't look like that. He looked like a guy who was trying to figure it out. Well, this is too late in the season to be in that space right there. This is way too late in the season to do that. So if we there with him, I got to be out on him. I have to be.
This is only his second game back. Like it's tough to get a rhythm. I mean, to be fair, he played the same team twice, but like it's tough to get a rhythm when you've been out for so long. I don't know how many games it was, but you've been out for so long, and then you got to come back and you're playing meaningful basketball the moment you come. At least Embiid came back and he got like 6 regular season games. BI came back last game of the season when they were trying to win for the 6th seed. So a crucial game. And then the first playing game. Like it's tough. And like even the first game back, like he didn't look quick or he didn't look like he was BI. He shot the ball reasonably well, but like he's just not Brandon Ingram. And that's just I don't think he can be Brandon Ingram by Friday. I think they're done. But you never know.
And we'll get to that game in a second. Right. But I do want to ask you guys a question regarding Zion. So more than likely he's going to be done for the season. It's a chance that even if they do play in the first round, that he may be done then. How are you? Because, I mean, for the most part, I'm pretty sure they're all in on Zion. But even after seeing that game last night, some will call it a legacy game. They were saying that in the chat last night. 40 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, and he was the best player on the floor last night with 2 other stars.
That's with 3.5 minutes left in the game. That 40 was about to be 45 to 50, by the way.
He ain't get it done, though. That's not a legacy game.
Here's the point that I'm trying to ask you guys, though.
Mm-hmm.
How do you handle Zion next year? And are you going forward? Is Zion definitely the face of your franchise if you're New Orleans?
How do you handle him? You talking about the other team? How do they handle him? Like guard him? Play against him?
Do you mean load management?
Load manage him? Like what do you do? Okay. Oh, damn. And right quick, a new member, the Bigger Ox became a member today. So shout out to the Bigger Ox.
We already got a big ox. We got a bigger one? Oh, man. I didn't know that. I did not know that.
We're going to have to put him on the PC squad this summer.
I don't know what more you can do. Like Zion, he played his way into shape this year. Like the difference from what he looked like at the start of the season to what he looked like in like December to now. Like he played his way into shape.
Right.
He was reasonably available. They still did load manage him on like the back end of back-to-backs, like occasionally. Like I don't know what else you do other than be like, oh yeah, you're playing 60 games. Like I think he just got hurt. Like I don't think that's preventative. In my opinion, I don't think there was much more that could have just happened. I think it was just he went up, like he did the other 25 times that game. And that time his hamstring just gave out a little bit. He probably felt like a tweak. And it's just, I think that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. I think you just got to play Zion. Because if you don't play Zion, he's not going to be in shape. So you run into you don't want to play him too much because he might get hurt. But then if you don't play him enough, he's not going to be in shape. So you have to play him.
I just feel like last night was such a tease. Like, if you the Pelicans organization, and then it makes you put things into perspective. Imagine if this guy was able. Mikal Bridges is just taking it too far, but imagine if he was able to be available 80% of the time and giving you that. Because I think we would have seen that game last year, maybe the year before that when he was injured. Imagine if this dude could play more, where he would be at right now, how comfortable he would be with the game. We might see more mid-ranges out of Zion. It would be so much more to his game that he would be able to unlock due to just playing.
Mid-ranges. Ron, we talked about this a bunch of times before, bro. And I'm of the belief that we're not going to get that
from Zion.
No, I don't think so. He's not the basketball body type. He's too heavy. He's up and down at that size, all that weight, bro. It's going. I don't want to wish, obviously I wish injuries upon nobody, but it's just like I don't think he's supposed to be in the air like that.
But his body type, it looked like he shouldn't be doing that, right?
Yeah, it takes a lot. It takes a lot on all your muscles and your in your whole body to get up that high, to lift that weight up. But then on your joints and everything, your bones coming back down. So that's a lot of force going both ways, and gravity is, y'all know it's an equal and opposite reaction. So how hard you jump is how hard you land. You know what I mean?
Well, Marcy,
look at Blake too, though.
Right.
Blake Griffin. He was. You talk about he was big, he was heavy, really explosive, and then obviously he was really skilled, so he kind of relied on that, on the second half of his career. But I just don't think you could trust Zion's body, regardless of what he does. He's put enough damage, on the joints and everything else. Like, I don't know if I'm the Pelicans organization, like, I don't know if I could trust it, man. It's scary.
So before last night, I think he had played 20. I think he played 27 out of the last 28 games straight. He only had missed one game, and he's been pretty healthy. That's been the case with him. But you guys know how I feel about guys when they get to a certain level. So this is year 5 for for Zion. This is the year that we're in. We're in year 5 with him. He got hurt in 21. Was it 21 or 20 when with the knee injury? But we're in year 5 now. So 22 or 23, 6 and 5. This is probably who he is moving forward in terms of the player that he is. Now, can he expand some of his game? Probably. But for the most part, this is what you should expect moving forward from him on a Tuesday. 22 to 24, 6, 7 rebounds. This is probably who this guy is at this point.
Sure, that's a good ass player on a Tuesday. And on top of that, Zion was playing defense last night too.
Yeah.
When he wants to, when it's time to play ball, Zion to play defense. He gonna go get you a couple blocks. He gonna be in the passing lanes, but he was moving his feet last night too. Shout out to Zion, man. That was a
dog in him too. I didn't realize that about Zion. He got a dog in him. He got a fire in him where he ain't backing down from you. He will fight. I like that about him. I do like that about him.
Zion's game, man, it's not up for question. We know how dope he is. It's just when you're gonna be on the court in shape and healthy.
It's a couple other things I want to shout out from both teams. First off, with the Pelicans, I want to shout out Jose Alvarado and Trey Murphy. I told y'all yesterday they would make an impact on that game. They came in that second half and turned things up. That's one thing. Actually, you mentioned Willie Green. Willie Green really got a tool shed of guys over there. He got a deep list of tools on his bench that he could go to at any given time. And the Pelicans are a deep team, and they showed you that last night when CJ wasn't playing good. BI obviously wasn't playing good, and he was on the bench. He only played 25 minutes. Zion got hurt. At the end of the game, they had 4 bench players in there, and CJ. Well, Herb Jones too, but they had four role players in CJ, and they was they still took it down to the wire.
Yeah, Willie Green did a good job. Sorry, no, you can go ahead.
I see. I was going to say Trey Murphy don't play. Him and Herb Jones. That's it. Go ahead, Marsh.
Yeah, Willie Green did a really good job with his adjustment. He really messed up the Lakers offense because they were taking advantage of Valanciunas, like trying to rotate around the court. He took Valanciunas out. He went more switch heavy, and the Lakers just couldn't get into anything, and it really hampered them. I think that's a concerning sign if I'm the Lakers, and I don't know how well New Orleans could do something similar against the Kings. But Willie Green did a really good job. And then it also, like, Zion had like 20 in the first half. So I'm not going to say, Zion needed that. But it made life a lot easier for Zion. Like, the way he was scoring, especially in that third quarter, was something that he didn't have in the first half because they were just able to get out and run consistently. And I think that's a testament to Willie Green. And Trey Murphy and Dyson Daniels came in and played some good defense. Jose Alvarado, I think, He's there he's a little Patrick Beverly. That's what he is. He came in. D'Lo was cooking first quarter. Let me just go get D'Lo a tech real quick. That's all he was there for. I'm a headbutt him just so he can come back at me. I know my tech ain't gonna do the damage in his D'Lo's tech. So let me get him a tech. I'm gonna take the hit. I'm gonna take my little tech. That's cool. He's been injured in that game like 4 times and carried on playing. So shout out to Alvarado, man.
He can play. Yes, he can.
He's an underrated
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he like. He's there to be an irritant. He's there to just put the mess up everything the opponent's doing, and then offensively he can do some things. I mean,
Jose might be their best passer. Let him in assist last night. Jose. No, you can make that face if you want to. Jose is a point guard. Yes, on defense first, that's what he does. He's an irritant.
But backup lead guard, Ron.
Okay, and Brandon Ingram's not a point guard. And he's not naturally a point guard. Zion's not naturally a point guard. Jose Alvarado is a point guard.
And they're all better than him. I'd rather Zion at the lead guard than Jose Alvarado. I would.
All right, just watch him. Just watching this next game. Jose,
I'm there praising Jose Alvarado, and then you just have to go drive. I've got in the car with Ron. I was on the Jose Alvarado praise train, and he just drove the car off the cliff for no reason.
You're saying he's a better passer.
Ron, you're unstable. Ron, let me out. You're gonna crash this car.
He's a better passer than Zion Williamson.
I don't want to ride with you, bro. You're unstable.
Pull the car.
He's a better passer than Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson is not crazy. It's not.
He might be
watching this next game. Watching this next game. Watch how he gets in that lane and finds the open man. Watch how he finds the open shooter. Just watch. Like his playmaking is very underrated.
Turnover. Like
all the best passers stole turnovers.
He might be the 5th best passer on that team.
Then he might be the first.
No, there's no claim for the first. He might be 5th.
I like Jose. I like him.
So do I. But then now Ron just went too far. Now I'm the Jose hater because you want to go lie and say the best passer on the team.
All right. I said he might be the best passer. Last night he was the best passer on their team.
He's not, Ron. Nobody says that. Even before last night. Before last night, nobody.
He's not even about passing than Dyson Daniel. He might be the 6th best passer on the team.
But you know what though? Speaking of Jose though, Puerto Rico, they got some dope point guards. You were speaking about Marcus Howard earlier. Puerto Rican.
Yeah. Marcus Howard, Puerto Rican. Carlos Arroyo back in the day.
He got a brother too, right?
Marcus, yeah. Jordan Howard. You got Jordan Howard.
Yeah, that's right. He was.
And then Jose Barea back in the day. He was a point guard. Yeah.
But like right now on their team though, I was watching them play last summer. I like their little trio of point guards. Jose got game, but Ryan, it's all good, bro.
You guys also got to understand, like Brandon Ingram and Zion have the ball in their hands all game. If they was just to roll the ball out to Jose Alvarado, I guarantee we would be talking a little bit different about.
No, we wouldn't, Ron. Pull a call, Ron. You're gonna crash us.
But Ron, but look. So him being the passer,
y'all gonna start paying attention how y'all typically do, and then y'all gonna be like, oh well. Ron was kind of right.
I was paying attention. I'm not
saying you Halliburton, but it's not hard to be the best passer on the Pelicans, a team that doesn't have a point guard.
Were you paying attention to his passing last time when he threw that crucial turnover? When he shouldn't
That's
have
what I said.
When he
Right
threw
to
it
D'Angelo
to
Russell.
D'Lo?
So because he threw a bad pass in the clutch, that means he's not a good passer. Because I can go to plenty of times where LeBron. I can go to plenty of times where LeBron has threw bad passes in crucial situations. I can go to times where John Stockton has threw turnovers in a crucial game. You know what? Kobe's one of the best scorers of all time. I can go to times against the Jazz where he shot air balls, but we're not going to hold that against him and say, "Oh, Kobe's not a good scorer because he airballed in this
We're
situation."
talking about rookie Kobe's line, who was 18 years old, was in high school the year before. Is that was the example that you just gave us?
Okay, and chill. We can fast forward. We can fast forward to 2009.
Playoffs, and we're talking about the dude shooting air balls.
We can fast forward to 2009. We can fast forward to 2009, and we can have moments of where Kobe shot bad shots in the clutch or just at certain times. So just because you threw a turnover during a clutch moment in the situation, that doesn't take away from the other 7 assists that he had during the game.
Right, Mark.
Send him the hell, man.
Shout out to Alvarado, man. I wanted to praise you. Ron went too far.
And we still are. And we still are, Jose.
Now we're here.
And we still are. And we still are, my man. You still are nice, right? You still are. We not no.
And him being able to play through like
Ron trying to make the 6 into the 10. He's trying to make the 6.
Once again, Jose, it's not crazy to say that you're a better passer than Brandon and Zion. It's just not. But also too for the Lakers, I want to show some love to Rui. I think it's criminal Rui only getting 6 shots. I think it's criminal. Went 5 for 6, only finished with 13 points, but he was getting to it. So shout out to Rui too, and just the whole Lakers team as a whole. They bought out.
He only got 6 shots because of the Pelicans, though. It's not because the Lakers weren't looking for him. The Pelicans made it a contentious effort. Is that a word?
Conscientious.
Yeah, conscious effort. That's the word. Conscious effort to deny Rui the ball, because when they played that last regular season game, the amount of times Rui would, because the way the Pelicans like to play when Valanciunas is in the game, they're gonna have Herb on the ball. He's gonna fight over the screen. Valanciunas gonna hedge high and he's gonna recover. But then, in order for Valanciunas to recover, the low man has to tag, and it's gonna leave that skip pass to Rui open. What Rui was doing was he was back cutting the guy who was helping, and he was just getting dunks everywhere he wanted, or he would get that skip pass and make threes. So what the Pelicans made sure to do was to stay attached to Rui on those back cuts, making it borderline impossible for him to either get the ball or go up with it. And then when Willie Green took Valanciunas out the game, Rui wasn't getting freed up for those open threes. That's Willie Green. So I want to give, once again, Willie Green, one of the best coaches in the league. He's the reason Rui only got 6 shots, not because the Lakers couldn't get him. Well, the Lakers couldn't get him the ball, but that's because of what Willie Green implemented defensively. So shout out to Willie Green.
Which, by the way, can we give Darvin Ham some credit for that? Can we give Darvin Ham some credit for putting that together? We're putting Rui on the baseline because James was finding him in that last regular season game because he was roaming on the baseline primarily, and that's where James was finding him. Even in that pick and dive that you were talking about, Mars, he also seemed like he was that guy where when they're in the 2-3 zone, he's that guy expanded on the baseline. He's not just in the dunker spot; he's also expanded to the long ball line where James was finding him, plus around the rim. I'd like to give Darvin Ham a little bit of credit for putting that scheme together. Willie Green just adjusted to it. That's all it was.
On the fly too. So, well,
yes.
I mean, technically he did have a game, but like relatively on the fly. So
sure,
Willie Green, great coach. Shout out to him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, y'all. Oh, it was good, Ox.
No, I'm just thinking about this whole Darvin Ham situation. You know, because you know if they beat the Nuggets, people still gonna say Darvin Ham's a fraud. And I don't
he's not losing the tag. He's not losing the tag. No matter what. Just laugh.
It's crazy. I think Darvin Ham's been doing a good job since he got to LA.
All right, y'all. This is a good time to let everybody know that we will be on Playback all week. Monday we had PC football. Yesterday we had open gym, and it looked a little different. If you was there, you was there. If you seen it, you seen it. Now, if you know, you know. But open gym Tuesdays at 2 Eastern time on Playback. Friday, NBA X will be on Playback, and this is Damo and J-Rob. They're going to go up every single Friday at 6 Eastern. Saturday, Chill with Chill at noon Eastern on Playback, and Sunday from the logo at 1 Eastern. So y'all be sure to tap in. Check us out on Playback. If you haven't joined Playback, go to playback.tv and then join Players' Choices Room as well. Also, slap that like button and subscribe if you already haven't. I got a few super chats, so I'm gonna go ahead and run these
Hold
down.
on, Ron. I'm not gonna tell you again.
That's twice now, Ox.
I'm not gonna tell you again.
And you told him yesterday. He still ain't doing it. That's twice now.
When you talking about chill with chill, make sure you address chill with chill correctly.
Okay.
That's twice now.
The best damn show on PC.
That's twice now. Okay, we ain't gonna
you know
do
what?
this no more, Ron.
Since it's the best
That's
show
twice
on PC,
now.
We're gonna come see about you, Ron.
Since it's the best show on PC officially, I am now considering stepping down from the panel. But I have taken over the host role for Chill with Chill. So it will be me and Chill from here on out on Chill with Chill. So y'all be sure to tap in. Today, I'll be on Chill with Chill. All right. It's gonna be me and the man himself. You ready for this today, Chill?
Let's do it, Joe.
You know what we're gonna be talking about, right? We're gonna be talking about Ox's Kings today. Unfortunately, he can't be there to talk about it with us, but it's all right, you know.
Super sub. I got it.
Single-handedly making Chill with Chill the worst show on the platform just by you replacing all.
I mean, what the thing about it is, you know, I'm gonna do what Ox doesn't do.
And what's that?
I'm gonna just shut the hell up and let Chill talk. I'm just gonna sit in the back and, you know, play with these shoes or something. I don't know.
Why don't you do that on the panel though?
Right. All right, y'all got it.
I don't get how Ron can talk as much as he does on the panel, but it's never to read super chats. No comment.
Will you focus, Ron?
That is
focus,
what I'm doing, huh?
Yes, that is actually.
Thickest Pilot 9 said, Dub open gym with Damo. No shade, but it's better now.
Oh, no, as much shade as possible. Yes, the show is improved exponentially.
Is it still L-Dub?
Wow.
For sure. I'm not gonna lie. Open gym, like I've never had so much fun on Open Gym. It was so great. It was so great.
Can you talk to us about what happened yesterday, Mars?
What happened yesterday, Mars?
We just had a good show. We just didn't have to deal with 2 hours of just why the 70s, 80s, and 90s was trash. We just didn't have to listen to that. Like, it was just a high quality show where we got to talk about basketball. We got into some nice little theoretical discussions. We got into some real basketball discussions. We was just talking about everything, and it didn't just devolve into Magic Johnson is trash and Kareem, the errors of terrible. Like we just didn't have to listen to that. It was just a nice little episode. I enjoyed it. So shout out to the higher ups in PC for getting me a competent co-host. I appreciate it.
Good job, Cheerio.
Thank you.
Cultured Saunders said Klay, the best defender in the league, made himself shoot 0 for 10. Dub defensive player.
DPOY.
I never knew my reverse psychology would work so well. I never knew it would work so well.
That's why we love you, Marsh.
But I'm so happy. I'm not gonna lie. I love that game so much. That game was so fantastic. Seeing Klay just be Klay, wonderful. Seeing the Warriors dynasty crumble. You see the graphic they put up of the Warriors' big threes achievements. Just seeing that, knowing it's all over.
When you see stuff like that, you know what it means. That's like
when they're shit. 73-9 record,
yes.
4 championships,
Right.
2-time MVP, defensive player of the year, and then Klay's accomplishment was 14 threes in the game. But anyway, just seeing that's when you know it's over. It was wonderful to see. Absolutely.
Coronation. It's over.
Yeah, they're done. It's cooked.
It's for sure cooked. Oh man, we'll get into this, I guess, afterwards. But it's gonna be a rough off season for them. They're gonna have to sit down and rethink everything.
They should run it back. Please run it back.
They're going to run it back, Mars.
Yeah,
that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna run it back off the strength that this still is a money-making machine. They just built that new arena in San Francisco, so we still got to sell tickets. Who are we putting on the moniker? Okay, I'll tell you who we ain't putting on the moniker. Jonathan Kuminga. We ain't putting them on the moniker. So no, we got to keep rolling with what's working, and we got to keep selling tickets. So Mars, he might have to work at a reduced rate, but they are going to run it back.
Nah, give Klay the max legacy contract, please.
All right, y'all. We'll get into this in a second because we're gonna talk about that game right after these super chats. I got another one from D3. He said, "Good morning, PC. Yesterday, I was glad you guys, quote unquote, buried the hatchet. Buried the hatchet. But please, keep that Tasmanian Devil ticket off the show."
You're gonna be disappointed.
All right, appreciate that. I'll send that up to the people that need to see that. But dub episode yesterday with Tiki. Almighty Lambo said, "New op pack in the air. This gas or what? Warriors might have been in the playoffs right now if them ninjas ain't gas them up. El Ron, El Chill, El Chat, El Bozos, Dub Ox."
Shout out to Mike Brown. Mike Brown made amends for his series blunders Ox believes he had last year. He came in with an excellent game plan. So shout out to him. And shout out to Klay Thompson, man.
Did you enjoy that, Mars? Did you enjoy that, Mars?
I loved it. And every time he missed. Oh, every time. I've seen it 10 times. I just laughed every time. You know when Klay's doing bad, when like he misses a shot and then like you foul on the other end, he does a little shoulder roll. This every time, like he's gonna like he's releasing tension, and then he goes and misses again. Oh, it was amazing. I loved it every time.
The shoulder roll, Mars, is don't worry, I'm gonna get it going. Hold on, just give me a second. I'm gonna get it going, but he doesn't.
And then Steph's one is like after a timeout and his team's getting cooked by 15. That's what he does every time. Like he's just thinking about how he's gonna come back and win. He didn't come back and win. Oh, I loved it. The thing is, because he stripped the ball from DeMontis. You got cooked, buddy. Oh, it was amazing.
The thing is, though, like Klay, because you still get that feeling though. Like Klay's a dangerous man.
No, we don't. I
got PTSD. I got PTSD. Like
that's why you get it. That's why you get that feeling. I don't.
He did it to us. But he does that in Sacramento, to Sacramento. Like that's what Klay turns up for Sac. So every single time he shot the ball, I was.
Y'all don't think that would Klay steal?
Klay is
when he shoots the ball, you don't think it's going in?
Man. He's a dangerous man.
I'm surprised when the shots go in.
No, Morris, I kind of get that, but I'm saying like, especially when Klay goes 0 for 7, you like, on that 8 shot, here we go. This might be the one.
Yeah, why did you that? Yes.
Well, after about 7 though, Ron, I was kind of like, all right, keep shooting, Klay. But,
my thing though, actually, is like
the worst. I was like, there's no way he's gonna score 0 points. I was like,
yo, they was calling him Clank. They was calling him Clank Thompson on the playback.
Stank Thompson too.
in the playback comment section, I was seeing Clank Thompson.
Yes.
I don't know if that's old and I just wasn't hip to it, but that's the first time I've seen that.
He's hitting the bottom of the rim on layups. See him take control.
Oh yeah, that was pitiful.
Yeah.
I'm seeing him get the ball. They get it still. He's coming up the right wing, wide open paint. Now pull up 3, miss. Steph Curry gets a steal, cross court pass. Klay Thompson left wing, brick. I was like, it was amazing. I loved it. And then again, cooked on defense.
I'm sorry, Ron. This isn't a Klay Thompson cook session.
Klay Thompson gave a lot to the league, man.
I'm sorry.
He did.
He deserves more.
That retirement speech gonna be hitting. I need it. 2 weeks from now. That retirement speech.
Hunter said Nuggets about to show the Lakers why they should have thrown that playing game. Nuggets in 4.
I don't think they sweep the Lakers, but I do think they beat them again this year. And I think that series is going to be just as competitive as it was last year. I mean, it's kind of an anomaly because I always felt like, if you get swept out the playoffs, you ain't close. Whatever you're trying to do, if you get swept, you're not close. But those games was dogfights. Every last one of them. Like, Denver didn't serve them one game. I mean, they beat them in game 4 on a buzzer beater. James got his shot blocked. So every last one of those games were close. I think that they're going to be more competitive this year, but I still think that Joker's the difference in that series.
San 8 said international players took over. Jokic, Embiid, Luka, Giannis, SGA, now Wemby. Who's going to be the next American to win MVP?
Embiid just won it. He playing for Team USA. I don't know what So American
Mars,
just won it.
He's from Cameroon, Mars.
Okay.
Which is not a different country. It's a different continent where he's from. Knock it off, Mars.
And I'm going to be honest. I mean, when has an American ever won the MVP? Larry Bird?
Say that one more time.
Is it Larry Bird the last American?
James Harden?
Where's his family from?
Steph Curry.
Where's his family from?
Is that what we doing?
If Embiid, if Embiid can play for Team USA, and you got, I don't know what to tell you. Embiid been in the country for like 17 years, but apparently he no American. So like, if that's the case, Larry Bird the last American.
I mean, yeah, sure.
Where's Larry Bird's family from? Mars?
Because
he's
European.
I'd assume from England, but I
don't no American has ever won a thing.
That's what it sounds like.
Yes,
that's what it sounds like.
If Embiid doesn't count, then no. I don't think there's been a Native American to even play in the NBA. So no Americans ever won.
All right, bro. All right.
Jordan, Barkley, Malone. Right. Exactly. Right.
Okay, so there's been no American MVPs. If Embiid don't count, then there's been no American MVPs.
I hate you, Mars.
We got a lot. We got a couple.
Embiid's African. I mean, they're all African. LeBron's African. James Harden's African. Like that. What are we talking about?
Couple James grew up in Akron, Ohio. Mars, he grew up in Cameroon, like Embiid did.
And Embiid's been in the country since he was a teenager.
Since when?
Since he was a teenager.
Right, and LeBron James has been in the country since he was born.
Okay.
So was Jordan.
So if I was born in Japan,
James Harden.
So if I was born in Japan, but I grew up in England, you'd say I'm not English.
But they was born here and grew up here. That's what I'm saying.
So your country you're from is where you were born. That's what you're saying, right?
Where you were born, where you grew and where you grew up at, all that. Because Demontis
okay, so what age do you start
born in Portland.
And he represents Lithuania.
Right.
So do we say Demontis should be
because my family is from Lithuania? That's why my father.
He's Lithuanian. He was just born over here because his pops was over here working. Technically he's an American.
So it's fine when someone born in America plays for a different country, even though Demontis is clearly an American.
Never said it was fine.
He's clearly American, but we're fine with Demontis being representing Lithuania
because he's Lithuanian. That's why.
But he was born in America.
Yeah, but he's Lithuanian
and grew up in America. I went to school in America, but he's Lithuanian.
My family, right? Correct.
Okay,
my family.
So where's James Harden's family from?
I don't know, Mars. I know James Harden
somewhere.
James Harden grew up in Hollywood. That's where James Harden grew up. He grew up in Hollywood. Yeah, he grew up in Hollywood.
Somewhere in LA.
Interesting. And I'm guessing that his mother and father probably grew up around that area too, as opposed to Domantas Sabonis, whose father grew up in Lithuania.
Interesting. Okay. So I see how it is. Joel Embiid, it's because you got an accent. That's it. That's all I've realized.
Or it's because he's actually from Cameroon. He came to the country. I think he came to the States at like what, 18 when he went to Kansas, something like that.
He went to high school in the US.
Okay, so 14. Yeah. But
so more than half his life he's been in America.
And both of my parents are from Africa. Both of them. They grew up there. I grew up there, and then at the age 14, I came to the States.
Yeah, so he's been in America for more than half his life.
All right, that's cool. He's American. He is American technically. He's gonna play for Team USA. That's cool.
So the majority of his life he's been in America, but because he started his life in Cameroon, he's African. But if he represented France, you guys wouldn't have a problem, even though he was never in France.
Who said that, Miles?
I might have a problem with
no one had a complaint when he was going to play for France.
That's not my business, Mars. I'm not French. I don't care what people do over there in France. I'm talking.
But when he was going to represent France, I heard no complaint. Hey, he's Cameroonian.
Because I don't care about what happens on the French team. I'm talking about the American team.
Right.
You complained that you got a better player available for Team USA.
Because it just is corny. I don't like it. It's not about Mars. For me, it's not all about winning and losing. It's about how did you play integrity to basketball. Y'all scared, so y'all running to get Joel Embiid. That's just some sucker shit. You don't do that. You don't do.
So then be mad at Team USA, not Embiid, for being an American citizen.
I didn't say nothing about Embiid.
Don't say he's not American. He is American.
That's cool, Mars. All right, we know that. Okay, I don't care, bro.
So Embiid's the last American MVP. There we go.
All right, y'all.
I mean,
Mars does a great job of using ABC logic. It works too. I like it. I do. I like it.
He's American.
Right. American. I think that argument is really it really works.
All right, we got a couple new members. Shorty7 became a new member, and 1of1_1 became a member too, and he sent through a super chat. He said, "Ox salute for always showing T-Mac love."
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to 1-of-1. Shout out to T-Mac. Shout out to Ox. Keeping it pushing. Another super chat from Walker. He's been a member for 7 months, and he simply just said, "I hate Klay Thompson."
You hate a Hall of Famer? How can you hate?
Hey, Swiss, man. Klay Thompson broke a lot of hearts, yo. Klay Thompson broke a lot of hearts, yo. It's a lot of people who can't stand that.
Clay's my dog, man. Clay's my dog, man. I can't join in on that, man. Clay's I mean, I think at the end of the day, man, if you got what did he shoot from 3 this year? 38% or something?
Something like that.
He shot higher than that.
Yeah.
No, it was like the season started so badly that when he picked it up, it just didn't get it back on top.
I think he finished 5th in the league this year in 3-pointers made. I think he finished in the top 5 this year in 3-pointers.
I know he led the league.
That's the dangerous man.
Yeah. He finished in the top 5 in 3-pointers made.
There's a lot of teams out there looking for a 38% shooter, from the 3 at that high volume. So, I mean, I think we're looking at the worst of Klay Thompson right now, and it's funny right now, but I think he's still got a little bit left in the tank. I don't think we're gonna see the old Klay that we used to see, the two-way Klay. But I mean, you talking about just pitch and catch. I think he's gonna be all right next year. Every shooter has a bad year.
Where's a good landing spot for him that you could see?
Man,
and he could be staying with the Warriors.
Yeah, I think he'd have done fine on SAC. You know what I mean? I mean, they're all playing that short roll basketball. Yeah, I mean, I think Klay fits in a number of systems because I don't think he's the same Klay that we're used to. You know what I'm saying? If we got Klay just running off screens and dribble handoffs and in the corner, I think Klay will fit on any team. It's just, where does Klay want to be? Klay has his own ego and his own self-perception, and so it depends on where he's gonna be and be happy. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Klay had a horrible game yesterday, man. But I still think, as a shooter, I mean, we looked at his body of work, and this is probably the worst one of his career. We got to shoot him some bail.
Wrong. Quick side note: MPJ's brother, Jonte Porter, banned from the league for life. Yeah. Yeah, he's out.
He was gambling for like 2 years, right?
Yeah. I just want to put that at the. But anyway, back.
He gonna be overseas. We take everybody.
Yeah.
You kill.
Hey,
take everybody.
Ran somebody over with your car. Can you hit a 3? Come on, you straight. We got you.
Yeah, that's all that matters, man.
Got into a ball fight and stabbed somebody and killed them. Can you handle basketball? Come on, we got you.
Bring your rap sheet with you. It's good. We got a place for it.
Jonte got game too. He gonna go over there and get down.
Yeah.
He gonna make some more. He gonna make his money back. He gonna make some money.
Still be gambling.
Still gambling. And I'm saying out here, you know what I mean, you could go do it at the corner store. You gotta go online. You know what I mean? You'll never get caught. You'll never get caught. He'll be straight.
Lundini the Genie said the loading late lawyers Cook Thompson, Steph Curry. I'm finna crash out, PC. Big Ox, congrats. But enjoy this only win.
Only win is crazy. They're gonna make the playoffs. I was thinking though, it's funny like that Steph like the all-time greats that have played in this era. So LeBron, KD, Steph like got to their level, lost. LeBron's 39. KD has tore his Achilles. And LeBron and Steph fell off first. That's funny.
How about that?
That's funny.
I mean, you also gotta look at like just body types too. Like them dudes can rely on a lot more than Steph. Steph gotta be at the top of his game. LeBron can rely on just strictly physicality. KD is a walking 7-foot bucket, so he don't gotta move at the same rate he used to move at when he was 23. Steph, being the size that he is and having the type of game that he has, he gotta be quick. He gotta be sharp. He gotta be able to get to his spots. He gotta rely on other guys setting him screens and getting him the ball and stuff like that. Also, too, what am I tripping? Or should Steph get more just ISO possessions where it's just a 4 flat and they just letting Steph go?
No. They're just gonna
does he not do that anymore?
They're just gonna double him.
That's all.
That's the problem. Like you put the ball in Steph's hand, they're gonna blitz him, and the issue is the Warriors have no one who can capitalize on that. That's why the Kings were able to just they were triple teaming him. Steph's he turned the ball over a bunch, but Steph's making the right decision. And then it's Klay Thompson doing Klay Thompson things. Draymond can't shoot. Looney's out there. Kuminga's cutting to the rim. Like, there's just nothing being... The Warriors for so long have got away with having Steph and Klay, the two best shooters in the league at the time. And then they were putting non-floor spaces around them. When, like, you had KD, but after KD, then they went to Wiggins, and it was Draymond and Looney. The Warriors were the only team that could get away with having two guys you didn't have to worry about from three. Wiggins was a meh, but they could get away with it because they had the two best shooters of all time. When Klay's struggling and you're still fielding those lineups, they're not worried about anyone else shooting the ball. So you're all trying to get to the rim. Steph's drawing a triple team. And what was so valuable was when Steph drew that attention, you can get Draymond in a short roll, dunker spot, corners. You're spraying out, hitting open guys, or you're getting dunks. Now, they're not worried about the three. You're just not creating the same shots you did. Like, so I partially joking about the Steph fall off. The roster construction has just been terrible for a while. And Steph's been hiding it because Klay was still there and Steph was so great. But there's only so much you can do when you're building a roster where the only competent shooters is Steph and Klay. That's it. No one else. Wiggins, mediocre. Kuminga, not a shooter. Draymond, definitely not a shooter. Looney, not a shooter. Chris Paul can't make threes anymore. Like, what do you want him to do? So that's on the Warriors front office.
Like with the Warriors, and we're gonna get into the game in a second. But just like with the construction of the Warriors, Chris Paul, it's obvious he's just his time is over. But in hindsight, I think that was a terrible trade. They should have kept Jordan Poole because it just gave them another ball handler and somebody else to create. But just looking at this roster right now, it's like
we couldn't go back, bro. We couldn't once that footage was released. We couldn't go back.
Yeah.
We couldn't go back.
Locker room's compromised.
Yeah, that was it.
For sure.
If it could have stayed there, then we could have worked it out. But once that footage got out, it was a wrap.
Yeah, that did them such a disservice, especially right now. Like they could have used him last night. But what's good?
No, I was gonna say, what would Steph look like with a decent big?
It was supposed to be James Wiseman.
No, I know, and I felt like they just got away from that after the Wiseman thing didn't work out. I felt like they got away from that, but I feel like the Warriors, I think they'd be a lot different if they had like a lob threat, like a Duren or somebody like that. You know what I mean?
Well, they have Trace Jackson Davis, and Steve Kerr can't play him because Steve Kerr can't figure out how to use bigs. So that's what
doesn't make sense to me at all. Like for Steve, don't get me wrong. I understand that Steve Kerr's been coaching for a while. This is his first head coaching job in the NBA, but he's done it for some years. But he's played in Chicago for Phil Jackson, and he recognized in the triangle, which was put together for a big man. And he played in San Antonio with two big men. So how can you not know how to use bigs? I don't get that. That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Because what he does, Miles, is he implements part of the triangle in his offense in San Antonio. So how can you not know how to get a big man on a short roll? How do you know how to not get a big man in a stop and pop or in a pick and pop or in a pick and dive? How do you not know that when you played with a big man, two of them, and then you played in an offense which was designed for a big man in the triangle? I don't understand how he doesn't know how to use big men. I don't get it.
It's because he uses Draymond in that role, like because I think there's a lot of motion and he wants high IQ guys, which is another reason why I don't think he likes Kuminga. Because you need to be able to make decisions on the fly, read and react, and typically bigs are the ones who struggle with that the most. All that motion and all that quick reaction decision making. Bigs are the ones who are going to struggle with that more than guards and wings. And Draymond is like an anomaly in terms of his feel and basketball IQ. So Steve Kerr's trying to there's times where he's using Trace Jackson Davis in the short roll and he's throwing turnovers or he's making bad decisions. And I don't think Steve Kerr would just be like, I'd rather have Draymond there in that short roll. And then we'll just use Kuminga in the dunker spot instead of Trace because then we get more defensive flexibility. And the Warriors, I think, led the league in rebounds or something this year. So he didn't feel like he was giving away too much in that regard. So I think he just finds it easier to just have Draymond's at the small ball five and then you just get more high IQ guys around him. But
so wait a minute, Mars. If that's the case, then is it more he doesn't know how to use bigs or he doesn't have bigs with that kind of skill set? Because he'd much rather have a bigger guy that was smarter and maybe Jackson Davis doesn't have the skill set that he's looking for. It's not.
There's not many bigs who have the skill set. It's Jokic, Sengun, Sabonis. Like we're talking about legitimate fives.
Right.
I will say a guy like Isaiah Hartenstein, I think could do it, but not to like the elite level. But he could be a serviceable big in that role. But like if you want like the top of the top, it's gonna be those three. Those are the only ones who I think Steve like could play out the short role, make the right decision, can score with their back to the basket, do all of those.
I think Valanciunas could do it too.
The quick decision making.
I think Valanciunas can do it too.
I don't know. I think Embiid could do it, but Embiid would do it in a different way, and Bam could do it.
Again, Miles, who we talking about here? We're talking about the best in the league. I don't think you need the best in the league in that offense.
No.
I just
said Isaiah Hartenstein.
They didn't have it. They didn't have it back in the day when they had Bogut and David Lee.
But Bogut was a great passer, especially from the high post. Trace Jackson Davis and James Wiseman definitely wasn't.
Right,
but Trace Davis just wasn't that.
But didn't Bogut got hurt and then David Lee slipped into that role, and that's when I felt like they really started going small ball. Like, and this was what was that 2014, 2015, something like that.
David Lee got hurt and they put in Draymond, and that's what changed. David Lee wasn't what Steve Kerr wanted. Was it 2014 or 15, whatever year? David Lee is their starter. He goes down. Draymond goes in the starting lineup. They don't use Draymond how they use him now because they didn't. But there was like, you could see Draymond was just a quicker decision maker and he processed the game quicker than David Lee. David Lee was more your stereotypical 4-man, 15, 18 feet back to the basket, all of those things.
Work guy.
But then you got Draymond Green and it kind of changed things. And then Steve Kerr like adjusted with Draymond for 2016. And Bogut was already a good decision maker with the ball in his hands as a passer and a legal screen setter and all those things. So you use him. But David Lee kind of got pushed out because of how Steve Kerr wanted to use Draymond now. So like I think Steve Kerr's part of the reason like the stereotypical power forward doesn't really exist anymore. Like the Zach Randolph, David Lee, that type of like big. They don't really exist. And I think that's partially because of Steve Kerr. So Steve Kerr. Or Steve Kerr. I don't know.
I want to ask you guys though. Jonathan Kuminga, how we feeling about him going into next year?
They're gonna trade him.
You think so?
They're going to try that. They're not giving up. They're going to try and get another star. They're going to try and get another star, and they're going to use Kuminga as the trade piece because Kuminga's the only guy with some sort of value. Chris Paul's going to go. They might bring back Klay if it's on a team-friendly contract.
Looney is out too. Looney is out too, Miles.
Looney's done. Looney's done.
Hey,
They're going to use Kuminga as a trade piece for a disgruntled star. Like that's what they're going to do.
But with all due respect, though. Fuck the Warriors. All right, what y'all talking about? Y'all talking about Jonathan Kuminga? I ain't heard one of y'all bring up Keegan Murray, and nobody. I ain't heard Keegan Murray's name.
We actually ain't get to the conversation yet. We ain't get to the conversation. We didn't get to the conversation yet.
And the super chats was all about the Warriors. So
hour and a half, bro.
Hey, but
right, to talk about the Kings, like
right quick. We'll get to the Kings in a second. But my thing though with the Warriors for real is like Wiggins and Looney falling off was major for them though. Like their fall off, I think it was unpredictable and it came out of nowhere and they really like fell off. Them dudes are shells of themselves, and you don't expect this for guys in their 20s. You expect this to happen when you 32, 33, 34. You don't expect the dude to be 27 and all of a sudden now I just look like I forgot how to play basketball.
Yeah, but Looney's 27 is a different 27 with like all the hip surgery.
Oh yeah, true.
And also he's coming off back-to-back years where he played all 82. So like there could be a fatigue factor in there too. And this year, the only reason he didn't play all 82 is because Steve Kerr was just not playing him in games because of how bad he's been. But I think part of it's fatigue with Looney. Fatigue, hip surgeries catching up to him. And
These dudes won 46 games this year. They won 46 games. Y'all talking about them like they won 30 games or something. The facts is this. We made them look like they was this bad last night. We applied that pressure to them last night. The boy Trace Jackson Davis Jr., he couldn't even hear nothing. They had to take him out the game because they didn't know what the Golden One Center was all about. They had to sit the young boy down. He couldn't even play no more. He was discombobulated, couldn't hear. His head was shaking on his shoulders. They won 46 games this season because we put belt to ass. Steph Curry was shook. I told y'all he was shook. I told y'all at halftime, De'Aaron Fox, show us who you are. 15 points in the third quarter. Y'all acting like that team fell off instead of what really happened. We beat them like they stole something. Y'all up here capping talking about, oh well, he's old. He didn't see that, man. And they got that ass whooped. Keegan Murray was boxing step up in the first half. Keon Ellis came and took care of that in the second half. Y'all don't want to talk about it. I don't know. What are they going to do about Jonathan Kuminga? Man, what the fuck you mean what they going to do about Jonathan Kuminga? They're going to keep his ass up out there going to one center. That's what they better do. Y'all up here capping for these Warriors like they didn't just get that ass whooped.
Wait, what are we capping about?
This season?
You're not giving the Kings their credit, basically.
Okay, so that's like this is why I don't understand what caping and capping, because I know I'm getting older. But okay, are we caping for these dudes or are we capping for them? Because capping more than lying. Ain't that lying? Is it cap lying?
I love y'all and I ain't gonna disrespect y'all for telling y'all what y'all doing right now. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't caping nor capping. It's worse than that. Can't believe this. Y'all talking about y'all. This is a 46-win team. They almost won 50 games. And y'all talking about they're cooked. Dynasty's over. It's washed. That's not really facts. Like Klay Thompson.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is, Ox. Right. Yes, it is.
That's how we make. That's how we make.
The reason why they over is because you guys exposed what the problem is with the Golden State Warriors. Which
everybody can't do that.
You guys exposed that. One of the things that Golden State did, one of the things that and me and Ox had this conversation last night on Playback. One of the things that they did last night, the game plan was right from the beginning: go after Klay, go after him,
find Keegan Murray, who I told you
go after him,
2.0,
and go after him all night long. Put him in as much action as possible. Get him in switches. Get him in isolation. And on top of that, we recognize the Golden State Warriors didn't have the personnel, so speed the game up. Make these dudes get back in transition. Make these dudes guard the long ball line. Create confusion on the wing, which when they did that, Andrew Wiggins didn't know who he was guarding. Klay Thompson, he's pointing for Andrew Wiggins to get Keegan Murray when that's his guy. He can't get back on defense because the game is so fast, and it's obvious that he's lost a step or maybe even two. And they made a conscious effort to go after Klay Thompson more than anybody last night. A conscious effort to go after him.
For those that don't know, the Kings beat the Warriors, and they controlled them pretty much the whole game. 118-94. DeMontis Sabonis had 16 points, 12 rebounds, 7 assists. De'Aaron Fox had 24 points, 6 assists, and Keegan Murray was the best player on the Kings last night. Best player on the floor last night. He had 32 points, 9 rebounds, and went 8 for 13 from 3.
Respect Keon Ellis.
Trey Lyles had 7 points. Shout out.
Can we not acknowledge when somebody is just the best player on the floor? Can we not do that? Like, why we got to shout everybody out? Okay, Keon Ellis was fantastic last night, Mars. I ain't gonna argue that, right? I won't argue that. Just like Trey Lyles was awesome last night. Mm-hmm. But let's respect it. Let's acknowledge that Keegan Murray was the best player. He was the best player. Both him and De'Aaron Fox were the best players. And I said this to Ox last night. I ain't gonna lie. I think that shit is awesome. That are in an arena is screaming your name. That's so dope every time you make a shot. Keegan Murray. Oh, I don't understand how he misses shots. I don't get how he misses. To be honest with you, Ox, I'm being honest with you. I don't understand how he misses shots. Because when he makes one and then you hear that, I'm begging for the ball. Bring the ball back over to where I'm at. I'm begging for the ball.
Chill. My sons watch Kings games just so they could do that.
I don't get it, man. I don't.
Yo, I went outside. I could see the beam from here, and ain't no joke. I'm trying to tell you that beam. You can see it from space.
Oh, so the beam's actually real?
Ryan, you know the beam is real. Stop playing. You ain't never been out here.
Yo, Anthony. What's your thoughts and takeaways from this game last night?
Man, I thought both teams were playing like a similar style. The Kings just did it way better, just playing out of the short roll and keeping everybody spaced. And then obviously, once you got the 3 ball falling like that, I mean, everything's gonna start clicking after that. But I mean, the Warriors, they just looked stagnant, man. It's like everything was like a step slow, like, whether they were playing the weak side.
They look old last night. You can say it. They look old last night.
They definitely look old. They look old, man. The system wasn't systeming. And and Sack was out there running, man. They was on that jailbreak. But I was really impressed. I was really impressed with the defensively, sack defensively, man. I thought they were scrapping. They was up guarding at half court. They was teeth in the jersey, man. And Keon Ellis, like you said, like you mentioned, him, De'Aaron Fox, Mitchell. I think everybody came in and did their thing last night for sack, man. But yeah, it's a tough run. I mean, sack shot the hell out the ball though.
I'm trying to make sense, Ox, if your Sacramento Kings, if Monk was healthy and if Herter was healthy, how much better this team would be.
Well, we wouldn't be in the eighth, what was the 9th seed. We definitely wouldn't be there. You know what I'm saying? We would be getting ready for the playoffs somewhere in the 6th or 5th seed.
Right.
But
I feel like losing those two guys was a big deal. I do. I feel like losing those two guys was a big deal.
It definitely is, but I like how we, there's no excuses in this. It's 82 games. You got to stay healthy or as healthy as you can be. And so we just got to play through. We got to rock. We still got action. So we take on the Pelicans. I already told you how I feel. This is the best possible matchup we could have is OKC. The best possible matchup we could have is OKC. That's our only chance to get to the second round. And I'm not sure we're gonna beat them. Unless in game 3 Malik come out ready to go. I'm not sure, but this is our best chance though. So hey, we still got action. That's it, really. You know what I'm saying? We got action.
Hey, so it felt good sending them home this year.
Oh yeah, because that's how Steph did last year. Came up here and sent us packing when we was at home. 50 in game 7. That was disrespectful. So it felt good to knock them out the playoffs. And still, but it's not gonna matter. It's not gonna matter unless we can go down to the bayou and get it done.
And so Ox, my man Pirate, he has something that he wants me to play for you.
Pirate, where he at?
Yeah, Pirate. He's unfortunately he couldn't make it. And this video won't fully download for some reason, but I'm gonna play it. You'll be able to hear it, and it has a message under it too.
What Pirate talking about?
Let me go ahead and get this going. Hold up right quick. Let me cue this up. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Y'all can hear that?
I need a dictionary. You have a reading assignment?
Here we go right here.
My good friend Bob.
Yep.
Truth be told, I laughed in your face when you suggested my illustrious Warriors would be lottery bound. But it seems the good Lord has decided to punish my pride and hubris with great wrath. I can now only pray that you spend your newfound coin on a righteous and noble cause. But, good Ox, please grasp that dictionary tightly and remember this. I am a Taurus. I am the bull. Now, please open that dictionary and read to these fine gentlemen the definition of ox. I'll wait.
Grab that dictionary, sir.
I will rip off your sack, ox. I know where you live. I will find you. And I will rip off your sack. And I will pickle it. And before it goes rancid, I will feed it to the stray dogs of Oakland.
Wow.
I hope that's worth $100. Much love.
Jesus Christ.
Do you have your dictionary? We would all like to know the definition of ox.
Y'all gotta wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna be back home. I'm not home.
It's a castrated bull.
Hold on, Chitchat. Hold on. I got it.
Bad start to the definition.
My fault.
Shout out the bull, Pirate. Shout out the bull.
I'm gonna leave that alone.
Pirate is hilarious.
Have you got that money from Pirate yet?
Nah, I haven't actually. I got to rob Peter to pay Paul. You know what I mean? So it's not mine. You know what I mean? We seen the Lakers are in the 7th seed, so we know what that means. I got to rob Peter to pay Paul. It don't matter. I'm breaking even.
Yeah. Okay. About this Kings and Warriors game, is there anything else that you guys seen that you might want to talk about?
I would like to
Sabonis play defense.
I was about to say that. And I would like to see him. I would like to see him knock down that mid range a little bit more, man. I mean, the way that Draymond was playing off of him, that 13, 14 foot, that should be automatic with him, yo. How much better would Sacramento be if he could knock that down with more regularity? They would just be so much better. And not only that, his shot fakes, that would open up so much more of their offense. He already a glass cleaner. I know that. And he's one of the best passers in the game. But I feel like if he was more confident, I mean, Looney was in the paint. He's at the top of the key. I'm thinking to myself, yo, teams scheme against stuff like that. That's one of those, he with us. If he can knock down that mid-range a little bit more, that makes your offense way better. Way better.
He's just not that good. Respectfully.
Mars thinks that Joakim Noah is better than a prime Joakim Noah is better than Sabonis.
No.
I don't get how that's a bad take.
So
I don't get how you just don't care about defense.
with that push 3-pointer.
No, offensively you can say Sabonis better. That's cool, but when one's one of the better defenders in the league, especially in today's game with how versatile he was, and he can still run that nice little dribble handoffs. And I mean, yeah,
he can push the fast break too. Don't act like Joakim Noah was grabbing him.
Like the gap is the gap is like strictly that Sabonis can score down low better than Joakim Noah can.
Well, wait a minute, Mars.
I'd rather have Joakim Noah's defense than Sabonis left-hand
offense.
Well, I'd rather just have Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah on defense to me is already more valuable than what Sabonis can give.
I won't disregard that. That part I won't disregard, Mars, because you know how I feel about a guy being elite on the defensive side of the basketball. And Joakim Noah is elite on the defensive side of the basketball. I won't argue that.
Y'all just underrate DeMontis' defense. That's all.
No, we don't.
He gets away with fouls a lot, so shout out to him.
He gets fouled a lot too. It's physical when he's on the court.
So who would be the Joakim Noah of today?
Nick Claxton.
No.
Claxton,
no.
Joakim Noah of today.
I don't think we have one. I would say Bam without the scoring. That's the only thing I can think is comparable.
Bam might be the closest comparison. Yeah, Bam's better, but might be the closest.
He better on the perimeter too, but I think Joakim Noah better in minutes.
So Bam's better than Joakim. But
Bam's better than Sabonis, yes. So I don't know what you're about to try and argue right now. Yes,
I've done this before.
Stop this right now.
I don't know what you was about to try to get into.
I've already got into this before.
Stop this right now.
Do this no more.
But yeah, give me.
Somebody said Rudy Gobert.
No.
No,
those guys. I mean, Rudy offensively is worse than Joakim, and Clint Capella's been washed for like 3 years.
Jared Allen.
I was thinking about Jared Allen. Jared Allen doesn't extend to the perimeter as well, but offensively it might be something similar. Now Joakim Noah is much better.
He can't pass like Joakim Noah, can he?
He's a solid passer, but I don't think there's a Joakim Noah. I think Bam was the best thing you're gonna get.
I think Jared Allen moves his feet very well.
I don't think he moves him like Joakim Noah. Joakim Noah was very loud. Joakim Noah was before his time, man. He was at a time where you still had two bigs, so you didn't really get to see the full extent of how valuable his defense could be. In today's game, Joakim Noah defensively would be very, very, very good. So,
especially playing that pick and roll, especially playing in the pick and roll era, like it. I mean, the pick and roll was viable back then, but it's basically what teams run now. It's way different than what it was back then. It's basically what teams run now, and I think Joakim Noah did a really good job at hedging and recovering. Now, you got guys who play drop coverage, and you got guys who shoot the long ball. I feel like Joakim Noah, he'd be really good in blitzing and chasing guys off screens. I think he could do a good job at that. And he was a good recovery defender too.
Put Joakim Noah on like this current Knicks team. They level up like exponentially. Like
instead of Mitch?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll just have Mitch Robinson as your backup big. Like Tibbs already knows. Tibbs is the originator of this dribble handoff. That's why Joakim Noah was so good.
I was thinking put him on that Clippers team.
Well, that's unfair. Yeah. That's unfair. You can't do that.
Anthony, you don't think Joakim would be good on the Knicks? You kind of made a face.
Yeah, I think no. I think he'd be good on the Knicks, but I'm just saying I like Mitchell a lot.
Me too.
I like Mitchell Robinson a lot.
You just be my backup big, and then we'll just give Isaiah Hartenstein to Houston.
I mean,
Mars is something else with his ulterior motives. This is what I'm talking about when you being a scumbag.
You agreed. It was just a consequence of the actions that Isaiah Hartenstein have become surplus requirements. We'll take him. We the team that got him originally, so why not just
and handed him over? But now you want him back because he's cleaned up pretty good, right? So you that dude.
I liked Isaiah Hartenstein before.
What dude, chill?
That's who he is. I don't mess with her no more because she kind of whack. But I seen her like a couple of years later. Yo, she got her hair done. She cleaned herself up a little bit. She got herself in better shape. You know what? Maybe I can date you now. Get the hell out of here, Mars. I'm sick of you.
Well, I mean, wasn't the updated version though. I feel that.
But
I don't think saying Joakim is better than Sabonis is a disrespect to Sabonis. I think it's just acknowledging that Joakim is better. Sabonis nice though. Shout out to him.
I don't mind the debate, Mars. I don't mind the conversation. I just feel like from your vibes, like it shouldn't be a conversation. Like Joakim Noah is just better than him. Period. And I'm thinking,
I think if you have a big who has as many questions as Sabonis does,
he don't got that many questions. I don't like.
Yeah,
how you
that's where we disagree. That's where we disagree.
I just don't like how you be talking about it. You with the backhanded compliments. Man,
he's a very good offensive big. Good but flawed. But flawed.
But he's very good. All those backhanded compliments, chill. Could Mars be the reason why Sabonis is always running around with a black eye?
Always got a
You think I can reach up there? I mean, hey, nice. But no, Sabonis good. He like
vertical.
Sabonis good. He like the 8th best center in the league. Like that's cool.
But there we go.
In the top 10.
There
like,
we go
nice.
again.
8th best center in the league.
What's wrong with that? I mean, being top 10 in your position in the league is very good.
It's fantastic, 100%.
Like,
no doubt about
teams
it.
have like 2 or 3 bigs, so that means there's like 60 to 90 centers in the NBA. Sabonis in the top 10. Like, shout out to him.
Yeah, you're in the 98th percentile. I won't argue that.
Shout out to Montes.
Yeah, exactly. I won't argue that.
And he's gonna make an All-NBA team this year.
I dare you to keep him off of it. I dare you to keep Sabonis off the All-League team this year. I dare you. NBA. I dare you to.
I can see that.
How though, Ops? I don't think that in the history of the league, and maybe I'm wrong.
His jersey says Sacramento.
Even if it said Portland, if it said San Antonio, if it said Charlotte, a dude who leads the league by a wide margin in both double doubles and triple doubles, not being an All Pro on a team that's basically a playoff bound, and rebounds too. I'm sorry, I can't leave that out. And not be on an All Pro team. Yeah, I dare you to leave him off of it. I dare you to justify that.
I mean, you can. They don't got to justify it. He plays for the Kings. It doesn't have to be justifiable. They can do whatever they want to us.
Yo, Anthony,
why you always acting like y'all the redheaded stepchild, yo? I don't get that. Why you always acting like y'all that? Y'all not.
All right, I know we got the best fans in the world. You know what I mean? They act like we don't got no fan base. They're just doing it. I don't want to get into this right now. I don't got time. I could do this all day. I could tell you. I could run it down from beginning to end.
I ain't gonna get you started.
One day we'll get the whole history lesson of why
you don't got to. There's FBI files on it.
I forgot. We could just go check that out too. Okay. But Anthony, I gotta ask you, who's your team? Do you have an NBA team?
Nah, I ain't got a team, man. I appreciate different players. I don't have like a team that I always rocked with though.
Who you rooting for right now then?
Man, anybody from Cali. It's Cali versus everybody, you know what I mean? Right. So, definitely I definitely would like to see the Lake Show perform better, man. I worry about the Lakers, man. Once Bron gets up out of there, you know what I mean? I don't know who we gonna get next, but I don't think the NBA is the same. I think the NBA is at its best when the Lakers are competitive, the Knicks are competitive, and those staple teams, Boston, those staple teams like that. And I'm sure we'll be able to get some more stars, but it's been kind of painful to see the Lakers just not have the same jazz as they used to.
It's all good, bro.
Chill. Upon research, Russell Westbrook led the league in triple doubles in 2021 by 22 triple doubles, so a wider margin than Sabonis this year, and was second in double doubles by 1 game. And did not make the All NBA team.
That's nuts to me. That is absolutely nuts.
And he averaged a triple double too. So
in 2021, he averaged a triple double and was second in the league in double doubles. Only
one double double.
by one double-double, only except he didn't lead the league in double-doubles like Sabonis does, and lead the league in triple-doubles. Even if it was one game or by one.
Averaged a triple-double.
He averaged a triple-double, had 22
not,
more triple-doubles than second place that year, and was one game behind Jokic in double-doubles.
And they made the playoffs that year too.
And Jokic 7 games more than Russ. So Russ was getting double-double. Russ got 59 double-doubles in 65 games.
Yeah, but I mean, if you think about it, like Russ, isn't the All NBA voted by like broadcasters and media? Like Russ was anti-media for a cool little minute. He was on some Marshawn Lynch back then. So
I was just letting you know that someone.
I wasn't sure, Mars. That's why I was thinking to myself, who, if you think about that far back, and what year was that, Mars? 2021.
Yeah, 2021 with the Wizards.
So if I'm not mistaken, who comes off the All-Pro team that year? So does Irv come off the All-Pro team?
Somebody got to go.
I mean, by the look,
I'm thinking about the guards. So Steph Curry led the league in scoring that year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
I think Bradley Beal was second in the league in scoring that year. Brad got to come off. That's the guy that got to come off that crew.
Damn.
Bradley Beal.
Brad got to come off the All-Pro team. Yeah, he got to come off.
You can't find nobody else.
Well, the guards were Steph, Luka, Dame, Chris Paul, Bradley Beal, and Kyrie.
Yeah, Bradley Beal got to come off that All-Pro team.
And that was
because if I'm not mistaken, didn't Bradley Beal? Didn't he average 30 a game the year before that? The year before Russ got here?
It might have been 30, yeah. And then the next year he was battling Steph for the scoring title.
For the scoring title, right? Yeah. And he didn't sniff the All-Pro team. Didn't sniff it. He gets with Russ, who's averaging a double-double. Averaging a triple-double and second league in double-doubles. And he makes the All-Pro team and Russ doesn't. And it's the same Russ who won the league MVP based on the fact that he averaged a triple-double. Now he can't make the All-Pro team. I'm in the Matrix. I got to be. Somebody playing it. That don't make no sense.
All right, y'all. We're going to go ahead and dive into some super chats right quick. Let's go ahead and do it. Right from the top, Jamal said, yo, Big Ox, I'm officially a big Keon Ellis fan. That man was applying pressure to Steph, fighting over screens, great on-ball pressure. He's a dog.
Definitely a dog.
Ripped him in open floor.
Really did, but let's not forget that Keegan Murray was doing that in the first quarter. The first half. Shout out Keegan Murray.
For sure. Shout out Keegan Murray.
Christopher D been a member for 13 months. Shout out to Christopher D. He said that boy Klay looking like Joe Harris in the playoffs last night.
Damn.
Joe Harris ever go 0 for 10 in the playoff game?
Mars said this to us months ago, and he got pushback from me in particular when he said, quote, Klay Thompson is washed. He said he was over. And I'm saying it for seasons, but I'm thinking to myself, okay, Mars, maybe he isn't who he used to be. I won't argue that. But washed? Let's chill out on that part. Then I watched him throughout the course of the season. Yeah, I think Klay's over.
And it's to be expected. I mean, who comes back from a torn ACL and a torn Achilles
in consecutive years?
Like,
consecutive years, by the way.
In his defense, I don't know what more you expect from Klay. Like, I'm not mad at him that he's washed.
Part of it is just how great he was before the injuries, though. Like we as fans and as humans, our expectations of somebody, even though they tear their ACL and tear their Achilles, we still it's the inner fan in us, the inner child that wants Klay to come back and still give you 62 3/4.
Ox is evidence of that. Ox still scared of him today. Ox is still scared of him today. Ox is evidence of that.
Klay was a bad man. We seen Klay do some incredible things.
Right.
We seen that Klay had out-of-body experiences. So it's like we kind of still expect that. And then on top of that, he came back and still won a championship too. And he had a couple games where
and that was the best time. And that was the best time to move on from him. From that part right there, because that's when his value
won.
That was it. That was when his value was at its highest. And we get so wrapped up in these dudes not getting old and not basically having to be a shell of what they used to be. Klay Thompson, I'm sorry, after 12 years and 2 seasons where I'm rehabbing my torn ACL, and I tear my Achilles, I'm not coming back. More times than not, I'm not coming back for that. LeBron James is not the standard for longevity. No, he isn't. Because ain't nobody going to do that. Tom Brady is not the standard for longevity. Because dudes ain't playing till they 40 and 45 and still good. No. Father Time is going to catch up with 99% of you dudes. And when he does, this is what it's going to look like. In fact, this is what it actually looked like. Guys just started tapering off, and they started going the other way. But we see guys like James, and we see guys like Tom Brady, and we think, yo, we all could do that. No, we can't. No.
Yeah, I mean, Klay's what, 33?
34.
That's a reasonable time for your career to be winding down, especially when you've gone through what he's gone through.
Yeah.
Like, and he's got paid, he's won 4 championships. He's just not what he used to be. And I think that's fine from like my perspective. Now I know Klay wants to be what he was. I don't think Klay's satisfied. But it's just life sometimes. Just life's unfair. I don't think Klay deserved what he went through. And I think it takes a hell of a lot of mental toughness to not only come back, but he was still averaging 20. I think he led the league in made threes last year, won a championship. Klay, like, it's a great comeback story what Klay's done. He's still washed.
And Klay's had a hell of a, I mean, Mars, you just alluded to it, but I mean, you said it on the short end. Part of the greatest regular season team of all time. He was the second player in the Splash Brothers. Like the Splash Brothers is him. Will go down as one of the best shooters of all time. Like Klay left behind a crazy legacy. And with that being said, too, like Klay, I got hope for you, brother. Next year is still gonna have 82 games to prove yourself.
What kind of role are we looking at? Let me ask you this, Ron. In terms of a role for Klay Thompson, let's say he's in Orlando. What kind of role are we looking for? What kind of role are we looking at with him? He's in Orlando. How are we playing him?
Straight sniper. I don't think. Yeah. I think the 3-and-D thing is out of the window. I think we play him as a straight shooter, JJ Redick type. I don't know if you have him coming off all the screens and stuff like JJ, but essentially maybe just spacing the floor. What Malik Beasley does, Klay can do. What kind of minutes we got for Klay Thompson?
Penalty shooting.
Yeah, it will be dependent on the game. If Klay's on one of those burners, you got to keep him in. If Klay's 0 for 7 and giving it back on defense, hey, Gary Harris, Anthony Black, we need you. Like that's what it's going to be. I try to tell you, man, I'd rather have KCP, but like Klay in that role of floor spacer.
Now I know what you're thinking.
A team that neneeds spacing, I think we want Klay now for the right price.
And we get nasty over here sometimes.
That's right. Here's the difference.
If KCP's name wasn't KCP, I think everyone would agree.
The problem with Ant is Ant looking at Klay like what he used to be, and he has KCP. That's what he matching him up.
Yeah,
with.
I get it. Like it's like if Steph Curry becomes washed, I'm like, I'd rather have Jalen Suggs. Like, it's gonna sound crazy, but like,
what you say, Anthony?
I said at this point, I wouldn't want either one, but you know what I mean? I don't. I'd rather put my chips in the Klay than if I just need a standalone shooter, I'd rather put my chips in the Klay than KCP.
But I mean, KCP can knock down a shot and he can play on the other side of the basketball, right? So
for sure.
And he's younger.
And but like we were talking about, he ain't got that heater. Like, you know, Klay hit 2. It could turn into 10.
But do you want to put money on Klay that 7 times a year he's going to win you a game because he can't miss, or the fact that KCP?
I mean, he shot 38% this year, and this was one of the
but
worst
averages
years
like I don't want to like averages. Klay has a bunch of 7 for 10 games, so like the average when he goes 1 for 9 and then 7 for 10, he's 38%. But it's not like if he was going 3 for 8 or whatever every game, that's different to what Klay does. Klay 3 for 11, then 2 for 4, then 5 for 10, then 1 for 4. Like it's just up and down, and then averages are out to 38%. But he's not doing that every 4 for 11, 1 for 8, 4 for 9, 1 for 8, 8 for 12, 4 for 9, 5 for 10, then 6 for 15. He's going on a nice little run here, and then it will be followed up 3 for 10, 2 for 6, 1 for 6, 3 for 9, 6 for 17, 1 for 4, 2 for 7, 6 for 17 again, 2 for 9, 2 for 13, 0 for 3. 1 for 7, 1 for 9, then he goes 7 for 13. So like you got a game where you go 1 for 9, then the next game he's 7 for 13. Over 2 games is 36%. But one game he went 1 for 9. Like that's averages. Like Klay's never been the average. He's always been up and down.
He's a volume shooter, but I think too. But if we're talking about Klay on Orlando, where he's got a lot more pieces and pieces that he hasn't necessarily played with before. I don't think he jacks it up like he did before.
But
so at the end of the day,
he's probably going to get the same open shots though. I mean,
Chill, it's different. It's different though. Think about it though, Chill. And it's kind of like, I'm gonna go to your typical chick analogies. When you've been with a chick for so long and you used to her, you gonna get away with a couple more things because you know how she's gonna react and she knows how you're gonna react. So you'll do little things where it's like, all right, with my new chick, I'm not just gonna take off my dirty shoes and just have my smelly feet all in the house. Whereas with her, it's like, oh man, shut up. Oh, you'll get over it. You used to me. You know this. So you like when he goes to Orlando, he's not gonna be shooting all them ill-advised shots, and his looks are gonna be a little different. He's not gonna be as comfortable. He's gonna, he's gonna play on his toes a little bit more and be sharper. With Golden State, it's like, yo, Steve, you still not gonna take me out the game. I'm gonna shoot this shot.
He got credit.
Yeah, you got credit.
He got credit in Golden State. You know what I'm saying?
He got a black card over there. Klay got a black card over there.
He do, man. It's just like you move to a new city, man. You gotta hop in the line and pay the cover like everybody else. And that's just what it is. So I think he'll.
But I'm just thinking about from the aspect of him shooting the basketball and being open. Like he's open in Golden State. Can he still knock down open shots regularly? All right, he's not going to be able to knock down. He's not going to be able to shoot 10 shots. Are the quality of shots going to be the same in Orlando as they're going to be in Golden State? Probably not. But he's still going to get open looks. He's not going to get grenades like Ox brings up. But I do think he's going to get open shots. With that being said, how much can we use him? Because if he's going 1 for 4, right? If he's starting out the game, Klay's one of those shooters where if he gets going early, we keep going to him. But Orlando doesn't have that kind of team where if he gets going or if he doesn't get going, we can afford to stick with him. We can't do that with him. Like, we got to get him off the floor if he can start the game 0 for 3 because he's a liability defensively. And Orlando is one of the better teams defensively. And we can protect Klay for a little while, but we can't protect him that long. Sacramento proved that last night.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. On to the next super chat. Alan L said LeBron is a great man for taking a charge from Zion. L-Dub, L-Ox.
You seen how Brown fell when Zion ran into him?
Yeah.
That's how I'm gonna do Alan Noah if I ever catch up with him. I'm on full speed. Full speed, man.
No.
Scott Doob said Darvingham could beat the dream team, and I still want that terrorist gone.
Yeah, it don't make a difference. You already got your mind made up about him. Ain't no reason to talk about Darvingham when you talk to him because he already out.
That's insane.
Ox, you want to read this?
Nah.
All right. Well, Matt said Keegan Murray.
No, Ron. Say it like he wrote it, Ron.
Ox, you got it.
Keegan Murray. So dope, yo. That is so dope.
Yeah, I love that. I'm not gonna lie.
That's so
every
dope.
time.
It's so I don't understand how you missed a shot, yo. I don't. But anyway, go ahead, Ron.
I don't know if this means the beam or purple, but he said the purple dot, saying from watching that game, I was confused as to why Kevin Looney only played 9 minutes. His rebounding would have been valuable.
Offensively, it's cooked.
I was about to say that. They sped the game up, and he didn't really provide any value when they sped the game up because he couldn't guard, and he ain't giving us nothing on. Oh, so we got to come off the floor.
Yo, Anthony. So you played at Stanford.
Yeah.
You played during a golden time at Stanford.
Yeah. It was Russ, James, Klay. Everybody was there. It was wild. Kevin Love, a bunch of guys.
You want to talk about that little your 4 years there? Because
it was cool. I had to,
You got cooked by Klay? That's what happened. You got cooked by Klay?
Yeah, I got cooked by Klay. Klay was actually the freshman. Nah, Klay was a freshman when I was a senior. Klay was he wasn't the Klay that we saw today, but you saw that he was going to be really good. He was a young boy, but the Pac-10 back then was super dope.
Shout out to Pac-10 for real.
Man, RIP to the Pac-10. RIP. It's over. It's over, man. College basketball is changing, man. But yeah, man. we had some talent. There was talent every night, man. We had the Lopez twins and Landry Fields. We had a solid
with you
squad.
though. With you.
Yeah.
Y'all was tough during that time for real.
Well, yeah.
Nah,
y'all was really tough.
No, we wasn't no joke, man. We was straight. But UCLA was the big dogs. You know what I mean? They just kept reloading. They just had talent on top of talent. But, you know, it's funny. We was talking about it the other day. I don't think, like, there's been a lot of, I think there was a lot of talk, especially around college basketball this year with, like, Caden Clark and everything. But do y'all remember J.J. Redick and Adam Morrison back then?
Yeah.
Both of them averaging 28, and, like, the shit that they were doing, like, night in and night out was, like, it was ridiculous. People don't know that JJ was a bucket back, and Adam Morrison was too. Like, shout out to both of them. But
if I'm not mistaken, JJ Redick, I think JJ Redick is the all-time leading scorer in ACC history. Some nonsense like that. I know he scored over 2,200 points at Duke.
Yeah.
Something crazy like that. So,
right.
Yeah. And Adam Morrison, if you say that you didn't think Adam Morrison was going to be a pro back then, I ain't talking about what you see today. When you saw him back then, if you didn't think that his game would translate, you lying.
Yeah.
But he tore his ACL.
Mm-hmm.
So like maybe he could have been, and then
he never recovered from that.
Yeah, he wasn't exactly athletic in school. You tear your ACL, I mean, it's a career-ending injury, especially back then. Early 2000s.
Yeah, back then it wasn't the same. Cass wasn't coming back from the ACL for like 12 months.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now you'll see a guy, he tore his ACL in the summer, man. He back by the end of the
come
year.
Back stronger.
Yeah, nah, for sure. So it's not a
career
injury.
Yeah. Like he tore his ACL second year. Like that's crazy. Like his first year, there was signs of like he could do things. And then he tore his ACL preseason year 2, and it was over from that point. So it just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
Joe Morris, how? Never mind, bro. Never mind. Never mind. I'll just be like, how the fuck you know that?
Because Adam Morrison was a top 3 pick. It's kind of like my job to like know.
Well, I'm saying, but you young as hell. You be talking about your 18, 17, 19. But how you be knowing everything?
Research.
But I'm saying,
it's the same reason I knew Greg Oden had a leg shorter than the other.
But I'm saying, do you research everything? Or you
I don't like you got guys like Adam Morrison, who was a top 3 pick, all-time great college player at Gonzaga, and then he didn't pan out. Like you get curious as why did this guy not pan out? And then you look at like how good he was in college. Like you want to be able to understand why things didn't work. So a lack of athleticism is a reason. And then a torn ACL in preseason going into year 2. Yeah, like that's enough to
I'm saying, like, I understand research. Don't get me wrong. You know what I'm saying? We've all had to do research on certain things. I understand us knowing a lot of these things. I don't understand. I don't get how come you know certain stuff.
It's kind of part of my job.
Might be right.
38.
Yeah, Mars, I think you lying about your age, bro. I think you. I think you might be a little closer to my age.
Man, I'm 46 with 3 kids, man.
Mars, I think you might be like 28, 28.
28.
Yeah, you might be a little older, bro.
Okay, sure.
Yo, Anthony. First off, I gotta shout out Mitch Johnson. That's a O'Day legend, Seattle legend. Yeah. He don't get talked about enough. He doing his thing down there in the Spurs or with the Spurs organization. But I gotta ask you, man, how was it like playing with the Twins though? And at this time, it wasn't. It kind of was Brook and Robin, but it was the Twins. You playing with the Twin Towers? How was that?
Man, playing with them on the court was it was cool. Nah, it wasn't that cool. I like because I was scoring. Like I was like I was scoring a lot. So we never played with both of them until the second half of the season, both years. And then so I remember I was scoring. I think I was leading the team in scoring. And when Brook came back, we just started dumping it in there. But you know, yeah, it was the same play too. It was the same play. Yeah. Brook throw up the hook, Rob go clean it up. You know what I mean? It made us.
For real, I really hated y'all at that moment in time because I'm rocking with UW and Spencer Haas.
Oh yeah, nah, for sure, bro. But like that's what they made our lives a lot easier defensively because as guards, like we could press up and like you not hitting the burners running to that rim when you got 14 feet back there. So yeah, nah, it was cool, man. I just felt like, you know, I was a volume shooter, like to, you know, play with the ball a little bit. And once we had Brook in there and Brook was starting to come into his own, we were just dumping it down and spacing the floor, and Brook wasn't kicking that thing out. So it was tough. But the crazy thing is like people see the Brook Lopez today. We used to see that in practice, but he wouldn't allow it in the games.
Oh, with the threes and stuff?
Bro, I'm telling you, because it's his second year, he was academically ineligible the first half of the season. And we had practice, and we used to have, I remember one practice, we had his drill. We had to get 3 stops in a row before we could get on offense. And we was the starters, and Brook was on the scout team, and we was on defense for 45 minutes. Because Brook was he could do whatever he want. Like, he was crossing over, 3-pointer, fade. And then when Brook came back, Brook shot 1 jump shot. Trent called a timeout, or the next timeout, whenever it was. He said, you go to that block and you go left shoulder every time. Do not shoot the ball again. And that was what we did for the rest of the season, all the way to Sweet 16. And so he kind of handicapped Brook a little bit, but all that stuff we see, like, we seen that a long time ago. Like, Brook was amazing touch, like unbelievable touch.
So as a coach, your job is to win basketball games, right?
Right.
Some people. So you tell Brook, I need you to get on that block. I need you to come over the right shoulder, jump hook, or left shoulder, either way, jump hook, right? You tell Brook to do that. You have nowadays where a lot of guys will say that that's bad coaching. You stifled his development, this and that. But I'm like, y'all got to the Sweet 16. I think that's a great coaching job. How do you feel about that?
Nah, for sure. Like, I was frustrated, but I've told everybody around me, like, if I was Trent, I would have did the exact same thing. Like, I'm riding my bull all the way to the end, because I mean, Brook was unguardable. Like, you had to double team him, and he's still shooting the hook over the double team, and he's still making the hook over the double team. Like, that's why I say Brook's touch was like, and then I think you gave Brook that limited menu. He didn't have to think about nothing else. It was just, I'm gonna shoot this shot 100 times. Like, Mitch Johnson had 16 points in the second round 16 assists, I think, in the second round of the tournament, junior year. And it was just all like, he just dumped it into Brook going left shoulder, no dribble. And that's what we rolled that out. So yeah, I think as a coach, from a coach's standpoint, like, you don't get extra points trying to mix things up and all that other stuff. Like, if it works to that effect, or to that amount, shit, ride it out.
My thing with that too is, if it's game time, this is what I want you to do. But especially if you got the coach where you getting them with the training staff, you got the assistant coaches, your trainers, or whatever, and during the off season, during the season, weekends or whatnot, whatever, you're working on the other stuff because you're going to the next level. Then you know what I'm saying. I think it's fine when we're in the game. Like, I don't need you out there shooting. I don't need you trying to go between the legs. I need you on that box, putting in work, putting him on the torture chamber. I like that from a coach.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So you weren't surprised when he went to Brooklyn and started really cooking and stuff like that?
Nah, when he went to Brooklyn, that's one thing Brook could do, is score. I was more worried about him defensively, because Robin was a defender, Brook was an offensive player. Yeah. Even though Brook would block a lot of shots, I mean, it's college and he's 7 foot, right? But I didn't know that he was like, we used to call him be lazy, because he used to be lazy sometimes, and he wouldn't, he didn't like to be, he didn't like to do certain stuff. So, like, I wasn't sure Brook was going to be as impactful as he is defensively, but I mean, he was young, and then I think now he just plays with a much higher motor.
Yeah,
he knows his role.
Okay. But then, so the Twins leave, and now it's you and Landry Fields. How was it like, playing opposite wings with Landry? And did you expect him to go on to become a pro at that time and actually have a solid career for it?
Yeah, nah. Landry was probably the most, like, all around skilled player I think I probably ever been around. You know what I mean? When you talk about, like, his ability to shoot, pass, cut off the ball, amazing cutter, rebound the ball, both ends, offensive and defensive, touch. He just had feel. And I think you saw that, when he got to the Knicks, and he was like second in Rookie of the Year voting behind Blake, I think. I mean, Landry was a hell of a scorer, and I think the best thing for Landry was Trent left and Johnny Dawkins came in. I think that was
shout out Johnny Dawkins too.
Yeah, JD's my guy, man. JD was tough, but yeah, Landry was amazing player, man. He had that he had to retire. He had like a nerve issue in his hand, and so like every time he said he just woke up with it or just came. So like when he was with the Knicks, went to Toronto, signed like 3 years, $20 million, and whatever happened, every time he lift his left hand up past a certain point, his fingers would cringe, and he couldn't hold the ball. So he was going to all these doctors, whatever it is, they couldn't figure it out. So if you look at his stats, like in Toronto, you literally shot probably like 16% or something, like his last year in Toronto. And yeah, it was the craziest thing I've ever seen, and that's why he ended up retiring. And yeah, it was crazy. Like I came home one summer, he was like shooting left-handed, and I thought he was nice, but they was like, nah, like something happened. And then,
damn,
yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like,
I always wondered. Yeah, I did always wonder why his career like didn't.
Yeah,
because you watch like those Knicks teams like 2012 ish.
Yeah,
Landry Fields was a good player in those teams. I never knew what happened. Yeah, I never knew what happened.
He was a baller with the Knicks.
I did not know that. That's news. I did not know that neither.
So Mars, he's now in 2012. Mars, were you watching those live?
No. Basically, I was a Knicks fan though, back in those days. I'm not joking.
We gotta get to the bottom of this, man. I'm not.
I was a Knicks fan back in those days, and like obviously 2012, the year they won 50 games.
2013
was it 2013?
2013 they won.
Okay, this is the year. This is the year before. This is the year before they won like a bunch of games. But like, I go as a Knicks fan. You got to watch Carmelo and those things. And like every time Landry Fields would come in the game, like he was a nice little player. I didn't think like superstar or anything, but I just never knew what happened. Like when I really got into the NBA, I didn't know what happened. I just like, and now he's working for Atlanta, and I was like, he's young. I don't know how old he is, but I was like, he's young. So I never knew what happened. I just know he went to Toronto and nothing happened. Like that's just from me looking at Basketball Reference. So he was in Toronto. I didn't know that it was because of that. But
yeah, nah, he had a rough go, man. But the Knicks had a nice little team with Jay Lin. They had a Linsanity thing was crazy. So Jermey Lin grew up across the street from Stanford. So we used to know him from like way back in the day, man. And
he used to come and hoop with y'all and stuff like that.
He used to try to. We used to play him. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like we used to like he used to try to get into our runs. We'd be like, bro, we'll hit you if we need numbers. Like you know what I mean? And I used to feel bad about that, but you know, Jalen is super cool. And I remember right before Linsanity happened, we was playing it was the D League at the time, and the Knicks had sent him down because it was right before the date where the contracts were gonna be guaranteed. And I think he had just had a triple-double or something. And we were talking, and he was just like, yeah, man, you know, I'm just down here for a little bit. I'm about to go back up, and then I'm going to see what happens with my contract from there. And then I remember I went and I signed in Italy right after that, and that's when Linsanity started to happen. I seen Jalen had a couple good games. I was like, man, I'm happy for him. And then a few weeks later, I heard my Italian teammates say his name again. I'm like, is he still killing? And it was
front cover of Sports Illustrated, headline
movement.
Sports Center. Like this the dude that we used to shoo away for runs. That's him.
Yeah. Hey, but you see that goes into what you were saying earlier. Because nowadays that be considered bullying. Oh, you got to let him play. Nah, man, go on somewhere, get better. You know what I mean? He got better.
Yeah, your game ain't nice. He probably took that as motivation. All you do is okay, I can rock. I'm gonna go work on my game and I'm gonna go bust some ass. Yeah, maybe he did that.
That's the motivation he needed.
For real, he did.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. We got some big games tonight, too. It is part 2 of the play-in. East Coast edition. We got the Miami Heat playing in Philadelphia tonight. And then we also got the Atlanta Hawks playing in Chicago tonight. So we're going to start with the first game, which will actually be on Playback TV with Chilltown and me.
Oh, God.
So y'all pull up and come check us out. Hey, Chill, I'm sorry I got to crash the party, but I got to crash the party. But y'all pull up the Playback. We definitely going to turn up. We're going to watch the game. But before we get there, I got to hear from you guys. What's your thoughts on this game, and what do you think is going to happen? Anthony, I'm going to start with you. You got predictions for this game?
Oh, for the Heat game?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm riding with the Heat, man. I live in Miami now, so it's Heat
Uh-oh.
culture all day. It's Heat culture.
Yeah.
And they ain't different beasts. They ain't different beasts when it comes this time of year, man. So yeah, I'm riding with the Heat tonight for sure.
Okay.
I need you dudes to talk me off this ledge because I think that Miami's going to do it, but there's this thing in my gut that there's a world where the Miami Heat miss the playoffs.
Oh no, that's the real world. Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
I need you dudes to talk me off this ledge because I feel like
they're not
gonna lose. They're gonna lose to Chicago,
but they're not. Lose to Chicago. They're not losing to either one of them. They might lose. I don't think they're losing.
They're losing tonight, and they're gonna lose to Chicago.
Series,
Chicago getting their revenge.
I think that 7 seed is solidified for Miami. But if they do lose tonight, there's no way they lose to Atlanta or Chicago.
Ox, we had this conversation not too long ago. Okay, so last year they lose. They could very well lose to Philly tonight because Joel Embiid. You brought this up to me yourself. Joel Embiid has not forgotten how to play basketball. Sure, he's not. He's not as fast as he was, and he's basically still coming off that injury. But he's not forgotten how to play basketball. And Miami's they're gonna struggle with him. They are going to struggle with him. And then what I'm doing in Philly, what I'm doing in Philly is the same thing that Sacramento did against Klay Thompson. I'm going after Tyler Hero, and I'm going after that Rook Jaime Jaquez. I'm putting them two dudes in action, and I'm putting them two dudes in action all night long. I'm going to make them other dudes beat us. I'm going to make – and by the way, Terry Rozier ain't playing tonight neither. I'm going to make them other dudes – no Terry Rozier tonight. I'm going to make those other dudes beat us. So there's a world where if they could lose tonight to Philly – now this is the same Miami Heat team who last year got dominated on the glass by Atlanta. I watched Clint Capella pull out 21 rebounds on Kevin Love and Bam, and they lose. This is the same Atlanta team who 2 weeks ago went in a double overtime with this Miami Heat team. Miami had to basically climb out of the ring after they got finished with Atlanta. So you
saying that they're gonna go after Jaime and Tyler? Okay, I can see a little bit maybe Tyler, but who is gonna pick on Jaime Jaquez except for maybe Tyrese and obviously Joel? Other than that, nobody picking on Jaime Jaquez over there. Well, like Tobias not picking on Jaime.
No, we don't care about Tobias.
Nobody who's gonna pick on Jaime Jaquez except for like I said, Joel. Nope, I'm not going for that.
I'm just thinking about putting Jaime Jaquez. I'm not thinking about putting him in isolations as much as I'm thinking about putting him in action because he hasn't really seen that on a regular. Putting him in action, seeking him out, putting him in a lot of dribble handoffs, putting him in a lot of pick and rolls, putting him in a lot of pick and pops, making that guy, especially in transition, making him guard. And when you do that, a guy like Kelly Oubre in transition, he's damn good. And getting switches where if we can get switches, because Miami also on the perimeter, they switch a lot. So if we can get him in switch action where we can get him on to Maxey, if we can get him covering Maxey 22, 23 feet away from the basket, and Maxey just go after him, I want to have that kind of action with him. And definitely I want that action with Tyler Hero, because Tyler Hero has proven that if you put him in action, he is lunch. 100% he lunch.
What about the other side of the ball?
The other side of the
what about how are they attacking Joel and seeing how that knee is holding up? How are they attacking him, putting him in lateral movements, making sure they can still stay in front of people? You know, can they pick on Joel?
I'm glad you brought that up because I'm thinking the same thing that they did last year with Bam, how he did with Joker, do the same thing with Joel Embiid. Make Bam an offensive player, make Bam an offensive scorer in the dunker spot, in the mid post, in the mid range, and speed the game up against Philadelphia. Even though Miami is not one of those kind of teams to play fast, Bam has to run. And I like Bam getting the ball off the glass and going with it more than anything off the strength that Joel Embiid's got to get back on defense. And I want Joel Embiid running. I want Joel Embiid tired as all possible. I want Joel Embiid tired because we've seen what happens when Joel Embiid starts to get gassed. He starts to get in his head. He starts to make untimely turnovers. He starts to take ill-advised shots. If we can speed the game up, Bam in particular, getting the ball off the glass and going fast and making himself a scorer, I think y'all got a shot. But there's a part of me, fellas, that thinks there's a world where the Miami Heat could miss the playoffs.
That's the real world.
I'm just saying.
So you got.
I don't think they're gonna miss the playoffs, but I feel like there's a part of me that thinks that they're gonna miss the playoffs.
They packed up. Definitely not reverse psychologizing here. They packed up.
So Mars, you got Philly tonight
by 30.
30.
The game's not even gonna be close.
Why do you think that?
Because Philly are better by far. And Philly want to see New York. They don't want to see Boston right now. They're trying to go on the other side of the bracket. Embiid is just him. And Nick Nurse might be the closest thing to a rival to Spo in the conference. He the closest thing you got in terms of in-game adjustments, countering what Spo's able to do. And then also giving Miami looks that they haven't probably seen. They're going to use Embiid. They're obviously going to use Embiid in a drop. They want Bam shooting jumpers, even though he's improved. They want Bam shooting jumpers. They're going to live with those results. They're going to invite guys not named Tyler Hero to really just make jumpers and make shots. And the playoff Jimmy myth can be put to rest too, because it's not happening this year.
Wow.
And I know what. Come on, hey, Ox. The dude averaged 37 a game in round 1 last year. Almost 38 a game. We doing that again? Come on, man. We doing that again?
Yeah, that wonderful little myth it's over, man. Shout to him. He's managed to manipulate.
He's managed to manipulate the Jim Sanity run this year.
Jim Sanity.
We're not gonna get that.
Come on, man. They gonna run it back, bro.
I just feel like I feel like you asking a lot, yo, for a team that offensively what they were last year to duplicate that against.
We was asking a lot. We was asking a lot last year.
Right, you were
same at the same time, and that's where I think that I just think they just turn it to another level, man. And I think that Jimmy's gonna apply pressure. He's gonna apply pressure in a lot of ways, and I think in some ways the Heat, I kind of like this team a little better than last year, offensively.
Wow.
If Terry Rozier was actually playing,
that's what I said,
but he's not playing. Well, Tyler's back, so I guess it's that.
Jaime Jaquez too, though.
No, but I was saying with Jaime in there, you know what I'm saying? I think they got some solid pieces, man. I think Miami, if anybody's gonna will themselves to a win, I think it's Miami.
Man, you can't will yourself against Nick Nurse. So that's not gonna work. The will can work when you're going against Joe Mazzulla. Yeah, have some will. Nice. You're going up against a coach who actually knows what he's doing. You can't just have will and win. Like that's not gonna happen. And last year,
Spo knows what he's doing too, though.
For sure. That's why I said Spo got it. I'm not questioning Spo.
So you got will and you got the X and O's.
Yeah, but when you've got talent, will.
No, I feel you. Philly. I feel like Philly's more talented, but I don't know,
last year, the thing with the difference between last year and this year is last year what happened was Jimmy leveled up after the All-Star break. You could see it was another level he got to post All-Star break. That was like, okay, he's bringing something into the playoffs. His aggression leveled up, his defensive intensity was better, his motor was higher, and you could see Jimmy was coming now 37 a game in the first round. He got it. That wasn't to be expected. But if I look last year, post All-Star break, 26 a game. That's what he did. 26 a game post All-Star break last year. This year, he still hasn't tried. The whole season, it's just been Jimmy's just going through the motions the whole time. His defense hasn't looked as good this year. His effort has been lower. His role offensively, he's playing off the ball more. It's not the same as it was last year. Last year, even though no one could have foreseen what he did against the Bucks, but you could see that he was getting into playoff shape. This year, that's not the same thing happening. This year has just been different. Now we can have faith in the playoff Jimmy thing all we want, and maybe he'll go out and have 60 tonight. Playoff Jimmy's still not real. They still gonna lose.
And on top of that, we're talking about a Miami Heat team that they ain't sneaking up on nobody. So this whole Miami Heat, we know who you dudes are. If you remember in 2020, they were top 5 seed. You remember what happened in 2022? They were the number 1 seed. Last year was an anomaly. They ain't sneaking up on nobody. We all know who Jimmy Butler is. We know who Bam is. It's not like they're going to come out there and we be like, damn, yo, Jimmy nice. Damn, Bam is nice. We know who these dudes are. We know that they're rough, rugged. They're going to bring the fight to you. They're going to play hard. They're going to get on the glass. They're going to knock down open shots when they can. But this offense has basically, it's been the same as it was last year. It's still in the bottom 10 in the league. They still aren't one of the better transition teams in the league. They still aren't one of the better long ball shooting teams in the league, which is what you're going to need in order to beat a team like Philadelphia consistently, a team like to beat the Boston Celtics consistently. Your defense, I think they're in the top 5 this year in defense, but those other teams have gotten better. That's the difference. Those other teams have gotten better. And I'm not buying this whole Heat culture. All right, we know who you are. LeBron James ain't over there. Dwayne Wade ain't over there. Chris Bosh ain't over there. Them dudes ain't over there no more. So no, I'm not trying to hit. No.
But you know who is over there? Jimmy Butler. And you know what? Y'all could say playoff Jimmy's not a real thing and this, and this, that, and the third. But I do know one thing. Jimmy Butler is one to hold grudges.
Oh, that's a
and when the lights get yes, Mars. And when the lights get bright, he plays the best. It's a one game matchup to get in the playoffs. You got Jimmy and Eric Spoelstra. They've been there and they've came through time after time after time when all the chips are on the line. But also, too, remember when Jimmy was playing with Joel Embiid in Philadelphia? He liked Philly. He wanted to play for Philly. And they chose
whoa. Not right there, Ron. Talk about his game in Philly, like what he was doing up there in Philly.
What do you mean talk about his game? He was balling.
Talk about his game, what he was doing, because he wasn't doing in Philly what he was doing in Miami. So let's kill that right.
When you play with Joel
in terms of fraudulently playoff rising,
let's dead that right now. I mean, Kawhi Leonard kicked his ass in that playoff series.
I mean, well,
I think Jimmy held his own.
But I didn't think Jimmy played terrible. I don't think.
I think Jimmy held his own. I think the issue was Joel Embiid's stomach virus and knee tendonitis. But if you want to use the grudge thing, I get it. Jimmy gonna play with a chip on his shoulder, sure. But like for me, and this is like going away from those things, I think they're all valid. The difference between these, like this Heat team and like years prior, like last year, even when they were an 8 seed, they held their own against the good teams in the league. Like their record wasn't terrible. This year, they're just bad against good teams. Like their record is solid, 46 wins, because they beat the Pistons and the Wizards and the Hornets and those teams.
Right.
They're bad against good teams this year. That hasn't been the case for Miami with Jimmy Butler. Even in the years they're a 5 seed or the 1 seed in 22, or last year when they were an 8 seed, they were good against good teams. Like they held their own. Their record was solid. This year, they can't match up with these teams that are just better than them. That's another big difference to me. Like this year is different to last year. I can't be like, oh, but they did it last year, so they're going to do it this year. Like they clearly just can't match up with teams that are just better than them. Now they might win this game and then go play New York in round 1 and then win that series, and then they got the Bucks in round 2. All of a sudden, we're looking at a conference finals appearance. I don't know, but I don't think this Miami team is the same as it has been. I think they're just worse.
So, and by the way, Ron,
especially about Terry,
if Milwaukee jumps on Indiana in that series, I don't think you see Giannis in the playoffs in the first round. I think they sit him.
Yeah, they've already kind of stated that he probably won't play game 1 or game 2, and he won't come till later on in the series. So
they go up 2-0. He's not playing in that series.
I don't think he's playing. I think if they
until they're up 3-1, and then Doc Rivers needs Giannis because he's not trying to lose. But other than that,
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I do want to say I'm channeling my inner Mars right now. I got the Heat tonight. Mainly because I need Philly to come and knock off the Boston Celtics in round 1. But I got Jimmy getting his lick back tonight. I do think that we're discrediting the Heat a little bit. I think they're a little better than we give them credit for. So I'm going to go with the Heat tonight. All right, fellas. We got a couple super chats. I'm going to start with one that's actually from my man Anthony. Drink More Water sent through a super chat. He said, question for Anthony. Did you play against Drew and Justin Holiday? And how was it? Also, how does it feel playing against someone great in college and then watching them grow even more as NBA players?
Yeah, I played against Justin and Drew. I actually played against Justin right before he came back to the league. Or he came to the league. I played against him overseas as well. I mean, both of them were. I didn't see Drew being everything that he became because the system was different at UCLA, and they had Darren, and they had some other pieces. And then Justin, he was always a good defender, good shooter, 3-and-D guy, and he did that well overseas and got his chance to get his foot in the league. But I think it's always dope, man, seeing so many of these guys in college, and then just seeing how they end up growing, maturing, seeing how their game changes. It's a cool experience, especially some of the younger guys like, let's say like a DeRozan and James Harden, guys you've seen since like a middle school, and just kind of seeing their path and what they've come to. It was a really good era, I guess, that I came through in Southern California. So it's been dope.
Oh, you from Southern California?
Zion's officially ruled out for Friday.
Okay. I was gonna ask you about that. I was hoping you was from around the Bay Area somewhere, because I wanted to ask you, but you probably still know about him. I was gonna ask you about
Kellogg.
No, I was gonna ask you about DeMarcus Nelson.
Oh, that's my dog, man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about DeMarcus Nelson, because I'm assuming what you guys were at 04. So
yeah, I read it 05. Yeah, he was a year behind, he was a year ahead of me. But DeMarcus. DeMarcus was a man child. You know what I'm saying? He had that football body. You know what I'm saying? In high school, and went over to Duke. And I remember when he was playing for the Warriors for a bit, and before he ended up coming back overseas. But DeMarcus was that dude, and he was that dude in high school.
So he was
one of the top players in the nation.
Yeah, DeMarcus was filthy.
Mm-hmm. So you was in the Pac-12 when. So you went. Not only did you go up against Drew and his brother, so Russ, Kevin Love, you was dealing with
James Harden, Klay Thompson.
Okay.
Yeah, you caught OJ Mayo too, right?
Yeah,
OJ Mayo, DeMar DeRozan.
You played in the golden era.
Nikola Vucevic. There were guys. There were guys on down there. Every team, man. The Oregon, when they had Aaron Brooks and all them guys, like Brandon Roy. Brandon Roy was a headache. It was guys. IT, Isaiah Thomas, Brock, Spence.
From 2000 to 2010, the West Coast was different.
Oh, it was. It was.
West Coast was different.
And I think you see that now. Like, I think Cali has the most the most NBA players in regards to players that went to high school, I guess, in California. Mm-hmm. But it was crazy, man. It's crazy to see that like some of them are having like Hall of Fame careers. You know what I mean? That speaks volumes too about the era.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that time. Just Pac-12 was special, y'all. If y'all wasn't tapped in, I feel sorry for y'all. I mean, the ACC was still holding it down. Big Ten, SEC, it was still good ball there. But during that time in the Pac-12, like the latter half of the 2000s, it was going down in the Pac. A lot of lottery picks, a lot of good teams. It was just it was good basketball to watch. Good time.
Down in the Pac-12, it was going down in the CIF. That's what was going down. High school. Damn the Pac-10, it was going down in the CIF. That's where it was going
high
down.
School. That's a fact.
All right, y'all. Bigger Ox came through with a super chat and he said, "Make sure your Kings handle business. ... The Thunder's waiting."
Y'all should beat them, Ox. No Zion. Y'all should beat them. Damn, Zion hurt, and it sucks, yo.
That's still not gonna be no walk in the park, though.
BR better wake up, man. He better wake up.
Y'all should handle them dudes without Zion.
I think we should, but I mean, I can't sleep on Trey. I can't sleep on Herb. I can't sleep on BI. I can't sleep on CJ. I'm not gonna sleep on the big fella. I'm not gonna do that.
And the best passer on the team, Jose Alvarado.
Oh, Jose Alvarado.
Please don't leave him out. Please don't leave him out. Very important.
I mean, our Jose is better than their Jose. You know what I'm saying? Not really Jose. I'm talking about our backup point guard like Davion and Keon. We not worried about Jose Alvarado. We got three. Right. We got.
Okay.
Hey, Davion and Keon. You know how Jose 3-year Jose.
I like that though. I do like that matchup. Davion and Jose. Them both coming in and turning things up.
Jose not ready for Davion, right?
I don't think Davion ready for Jose.
Okay, we could agree to disagree.
I don't think the game is a game if they guarding each other though. Like you live to see them guard like a star. Like if they guarding each other, man, I'm turning that off.
Well, this is the thing. So the thing with the Pelicans is they got Trey and Herb. You need those type of defenders for De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox, you can't be 6'3", you can't be 6'4", you got to be 6'6", 6'7", long, athletic to be able to do something with De'Aaron Fox. So it's going to be a good game. Once again, I'm a basketball fan before anything. I just want to see a good game. I'm trying to see it go down. So, I mean, hopefully we can get that 8 seed and go take care of OKC. I told you, Chitchat, I did not tell you. Hey, if it goes this way, we'll see y'all in the second round. Come on, League. And come on, League, get that jersey on, League. Let's go. Let's go. We get the second round. Malik come back. It's on.
It's another playing game tonight. I don't want to try to make this game the stepchild of playing games, but we got the Hawks and we got the Bulls. Thoughts and predictions. Trae Young is back.
I'd rather read Superchats and talk about this game. I don't think he's playing.
Do we have to, Ron?
Yeah, the Bulls. There we go. Superchats.
Does anybody? I know I need everybody's predictions though in this game. And if you have thoughts, talk to me about this.
I'm gonna take Atlanta. I'll take Atlanta in this game, just off the strength that Atlanta is pretty damn awesome in the play-in tournament. I don't know what the hell it is about the play-in tournament, but they are always good in the play-in tournament. And Chicago, they're not. So I know we got to talk about this, Ron, but the fact that these dudes 10 games under 500 and they got an opportunity to make the playoffs, this is disgusting, yo. Like, what are these dudes doing, man? These dudes, this is not a playoff team. And I'm already on record. I'm sick of the Hawks. I am. Ron, back to my analogy. The Hawks are that 5 chick. She's a 6, and she keep hanging around. Like, why are you here? What are you doing here? Why don't you go away already? But every time you turn around, you at this
and she got something smart to say when you ask her that, though.
Always got something slick to say. Like, you see her, like, what you looking at? You, because you still here. Why you here? Beat it already. Damn. See her at the grocery store. There she is. You see her at the park. There she is. Will you just go away already? God damn already with you. Sick of you. Every time I turn around, you here.
One day she'll catch you when you're drunk enough, and that 6 will look like a 9.
That's the problem, Mars, and we already seen that. We saw that
2021. Yes,
we saw that already. It was. And she had an opportunity to get fresh. She had an opportunity, get her hair done, get some new clothes. Nah, you know what she's doing? She's still wearing them bum ass Air Force Ones. Because she thinking that now I done got with somebody, that now I can still walk around people and still look like I'm fresh. No, you ain't. You still that bum-ass chick that I saw 2 weeks ago. No, you ain't.
You don't admire the persistence?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Will. That's the same thing you're praising the Miami Heat for.
Willpower.
Exactly. Yeah, willpower, baby.
Come on, man.
Give it time. Hey, if she's a 2 before 10, she'll be a 10 before 2.
Oh, my
Keep drinking, baby, and enjoy the show.
Oh, my God.
Yo, chill. You just stomped her out, Shaw. You don't have to do her like that. Just chill. Just chill on the long. After a couple of drinks, she a cool chick.
Yeah, man. Give it time.
So sick of
them. She smell good. Her kitchen clean.
You can put lipstick on a pig. Guess what?
It's now a pretty pig.
That's it. Still a pig, though, Moss. Still. And
you can't find anything better. I mean, some people will sell.
I think the Atlanta Hawks, I just think that they've done a terrible job in building around Trae Young and upgrading that unit, and they still play the same way. And Quinn Snyder is actually a good coach.
Very good.
Quinn Snyder is actually a really good coach. I just feel like that general manager and the personnel down there, I just think they've done a terrible job with what they never upgraded with Clint Capella. They still got the same guys around Trae Young. I'm just over the Atlanta Hawks. I am over that crew. I am over them the way that they're presently constructed. I'm good.
Is Trae playing? No.
Yeah, he's back.
Yeah. Okay. He's going tonight.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest. I think you got a free Jalen Johnson, man. I think we'll take him in Houston. I think you gotta let him go.
You take everybody in Houston, Mars. You want James?
I'm taking Klay. We good on Klay.
You sure? You sure?
We good on that. We good.
Because I can't wait till the day that we sitting on PC and we find out that the Houston Rockets have signed Klay Thompson to a 2-year
OKC.
contract.
Here we go. Let's go. OKC. Yes, sir.
Trae Young, DeJounte, and Bogey, they could get it done in one game. I could see them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they should be Chicago. They got Bogey, Trae Young,
Alex Caruso, sir.
So you
got to me and Ox, we talked about that. Ox, who have you seen sit in that chair, get them feet moving and them hands busy like Caruso?
Davion.
Not many guys, though. Not many.
Yeah,
I saw him.
Not many. There's definitely not many.
Trey going to have that boy on dates tonight.
I mean, Trey. I mean, you know what Alex Caruso gonna do? He gonna get in there. He gonna get in the chest and he gonna do his thing. But I mean, I still think Atlanta should take care of it. It's only one of him, you know.
Yeah.
Who you got, Anthony?
Atlanta.
Oh, you guys are all wrong. Okay. I believe in you, Chicago. I believe in you, Caruso.
And Vooch and Drummond.
Caruso.
And Vooch and Drummond.
Caruso.
Don't forget, Mars. You know DeRozan's on that crew too. I just want to make sure you remember that.
It's not the playoffs yet. Play in.
Oh, okay.
He gonna hit. Okay.
I do want to say one thing. If this game go down to the clutch, as much as I love Trey,
the Bulls running away with it if it's close down the stretch.
If it's close, I trust DeMar DeRozan in the last 2-3 minutes.
And timely plays from Alex Caruso. He makes big plays in the stretch. Oh yeah,
and the Hawks can't guard anyone. Like, I mean, the Hawks, DeMar gonna have like 38, like 38 too, just easy.
DeJounte might shoot 40 shots. Man. Go ahead,
nah, Trey back.
Carry the squad.
Trey gonna be the one passing.
I'm really sitting here talking to this 5 chick at the bar now. That's what I'm doing.
We're on Superchats. We don't care about this.
I'm really sitting here talking to this, and like my man Ant said, she's like turning into a 7, and now she's a couple of drinks. She's now turned into an 8. And,
but wait,
it's kind of cool for real.
Wait a minute. Now I'm listening.
Hold on, Chill. What are you all drinking? What you drinking though, Chill?
I had a glass of red wine, but
But she bought you a drink. What she buy you?
She bought me a glass of red wine, and now next thing I know, like Ant said,
a glass of red wine from Magic City. You know what I mean?
She really don't. She ain't really that.
Bit.
She ain't really that whack.
Shenanigans.
And by the way, I ain't stepped to her. I was already sitting down. She came over and talked to me. That's what happened. Next thing I know, I'm actually talking to her. Like Ant said, she was a 2 a minute ago. She went to a 5 after a couple of glasses of wine. She's like a 6-7 now. And I'm actually interested. I'm interested in what she got to say. Can we please go? Now I need my man to come get me from the bar. That's what I need. Where my man?
Let's move on for this turn into something bad.
Yeah, where my man at? Because next thing you know, I'm about to bounce with her. So go get my man so he can come get me. And then I got to explain to Ant where I was at last night. Yo, you left for home, girl?
Man, chill. Have a good night, man.
You could have straight came and got me, and you knew what was going on, Ant. You saw it. You saw what was about to happen. And you let me sit there. You let me keep gassing her. Next thing you know, I hit them this morning. Ant, where was that last night? I don't even know where I'm at right now. Come on, man. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. We got a super chat from Brax. He said, Stank Thompson disrespectful as if. Leaving skid marks all over the Golden One Center. You had a good run, OG. Hang it up.
Stank Thompson.
Hey.
You guys are so disrespectful to a Hall of Famer.
Mars, you told us he was washed. Zip it up, Mars.
That's not disrespectful. That's just right.
Sick of you.
I ain't calling him Stank Thompson. I ain't calling him out his name. I just said he washed.
They called him Clank last night. Clank Thompson.
See, I would never do such a thing.
Gunny Elneck said Jimmy Butler lives off slow-footed bigs and small guards. Don't be surprised if the Heat pull this out with Joel being hurt.
He also lives off ill-disciplined defenders, so he can do his little stupid pump fake thing and get free throws. Philly are disciplined. That's the issue with Jimmy Butler, man. He be picking up his dribble too quick, and then he ends up getting himself stuck, and he has to kick out. They're not jumping on those up fakes today. 2 points. I can see it.
Jumping in the air, passing.
Yeah, like, come on, man. It's cute when it works, but it's not going to work against a team that's actually disciplined.
DSG Piccolo, been a member for 8 months. He said Dub Kings for getting the Blazers a lottery pick.
Oh, yeah, the Blazers do have the Warriors pick.
Oh, they do?
Yeah, top 4 protected, I think, so...
You would know about that, Mars, because if I'm not mistaken, Oklahoma City's going to have whose pick?
Yeah, they have our pick, but it's not. I've already done the draft simulator. The Brooklyn pick is going to go up to number 1, and the Houston pick is going up to number 2.
No, it's not, Mars. It's not happening.
No,
it's not happening, Mars. No, it's not. So kill it. That's not happening. No.
Okay. No. Whenever
we got a couple other new members. If you're not a member yet, go ahead and hit that membership button. Go ahead, tap in. You can become a member for just $1.99. That's going to allow you to type into the chat. And we got a couple other tiers too that allow you to get some content on the back end via Playback. But let me shout out the members. Harry became a member today. King Musa also became a member, and 9-1 Smooth became a member as well. Shout out to them. Shout out to everybody that subscribed and liked the video today. If you haven't done that, go ahead and slap that like button. I got another super chat from Matt. He said, I'm from Seattle, and Ron's Supersonics and Manor stuff in the back is straight up fire. Dub host forever.
When we getting them, when we getting them Sonics back to Seattle, because they necessary. We need to get the Sonics back. We need to get Seattle back in the NBA. They are definitely necessary.
I don't see no Seattle Storm stuff back there though. That's all I'm saying. Like, you know what I'm saying? No Jewel Lloyd love. That's crazy. No Lauren Jackson love. That's insane.
Jewel Lloyd is in a national TV commercial. I think she's in one of them State Farm commercials.
No Sue Bird love.
Sue Bird. Ain't she retired?
Yeah, so is Lauren Jackson. We still got to show some love. Those are legends.
No, you don't. No. Once you're done, you're done. Bye.
See, and I thought that was the problem y'all was having over there at Open Gym, Mars. Now look what you're doing.
No, but your career's over. We're not talking about you.
Ox, do you remember what I told you about this dude? He's a scumbag. I told you that already.
Superchats. He probably just don't know how good Lauren Jackson was.
No, he don't.
Idea. No idea.
She was a babe too, by the way. Let's put that out there.
Man, it's different down there. It's different down there in Australia.
Yeah.
Australia. She's Australian?
Yes. You didn't know that, Mars?
Never even heard of her until now.
Hey, Mars, you go if you go to Brisbane for 2-3 weeks, bro, you ain't coming home.
There will never be a time in my life where I go to Australia.
Why not? Ain't they your cousin?
Too bad.
Have you seen the creatures they have down there? Like animals?
Oh man, it ain't all that. Just if you're not in the outback, you'll be all right.
We good. That's not meant to be. That's not meant to be.
Mars, you're not scared of spiders.
They're bigger than me. That place ain't meant to be inhabited, man. Shout out to the native Australians. Shout out to you guys. Everyone else who got sent there because they were prisoners of the United Kingdom. You didn't deserve that.
Australia's on the bucket list. But before y'all put me in a box and close it up, I want to get to Australia. I heard Australia's dope.
That's how you want to die?
Quiet, Mars. Sip it up, Mars. Quiet.
Imagine your choice of death being venom from a spider. Like, what?
All right, y'all. Moving along. All of a sudden said Chet is still better than Wemby. He's still the rookie of the year.
Still
living in November. Yeah, he living in November. That's crazy. Wemby,
that's a hate crime.
Hey, but what does Wemby look like last year with him and Chet? What's his shoe in the race last year? If he played this year identically, same thing.
What do you mean?
If you were to take his season with the Thunder, including team success, and move it to last year with Paulo.
Oh no, Chet runs away with rookie of the year.
Does he?
Chet's one of the best rookies you've seen since Luka. The issue is he's going against Wemby, who might be the best rookie you've seen since Duncan. That's the problem. Chet's having an all-time great rookie season. He's just going against someone who's having an all-time great turn rookie season. He wins 22, he wins 21, he wins 2020. He beats out Ja Morant in 2019. Luka is where it's like, okay, Luka might have it. Every other year he's winning. He's winning every other year. 2017, who was it? Was it Tatum? Yeah, Tatum was a rookie. Nah, who was it?
In 2017?
That was a class with Markel, De'Aaron.
I don't think it was any of them though.
Who?
In 2017, it was
Ben Simmons. It was Ben Simmons' red shirt year.
Malcolm Brogdon. Malcolm Brogdon.
No, it was Ben Simmons' red shirt year. Then the year before was Brogdon. So he's beaten out Brogdon for sure.
Right.
2015 is Cat. He probably beats Cat. Like Chet wins rookie of the year in like 95% of rookie seasons. He's just going against Wemby.
He definitely beats out Michael Carter Williams in Philly. Yes, he does. Does he beat out Dame?
Dame was AD's year,
right? 13.
Yeah.
AD's
rookie. That's AD's rookie.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. He's winning. The only ones he doesn't Luka, he won't win Luka. The Ben Simmons one is a conversation. Everything else he's winning.
Irv.
I mean, if OKC's the 1 seed, yeah, he's winning. Like just based on that. If you're saying OKC are still a 56-win team, yeah, he's gonna win.
Yeah.
He might win all of them based on that, like low key.
Yeah. Blake Griffin?
Yeah. Just the winning is gonna carry him. Even though I think he's more in line with those guys.
I think he beats out Tyreek Evans. I do think that.
Yeah. No disrespect to Tyreek.
And you're gonna agree with that?
No
Yes.
Tyreek Evans. Because I know how you feel about your Kings, but yeah.
If you have Chet doing what he's doing on a
Tyreek.
team that wins 56 games, like, the only reason he's not winning it is because he's going against Wemby. He wins all of the other ones.
I mean, when you put it that way, they are the 1 seed.
Yeah, like,
And it's a
and
lot.
I think he's their second best player. Like,
You know what? I'm gonna keep it real. If I had to vote, I'm voting.
You'd vote for Chet?
Yeah, I would.
I mean, one's the 14 seed and one's the 1 seed. So
I told you, Ox, before the season started, that if it was close, Wemby was going to win it, but it's not close.
Sure.
Yeah, to
Wemby
me,
was
it's not
winning
close.
it no matter what. Wemby had to have like a complete bust of a season to not get it. He was getting it no matter what.
Right.
Shout out to Wemby, man. All-time great rookie season.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, y'all. A few more super chats I got to go ahead and get through before we wrap up. Void Century said Mars is probably the best debater on the panel.
I don't like debating. Sometimes
There
I
you
get
go.
bored, but I don't like it. I'd rather just talk basketball.
So basically what Mars said is he doesn't like cooking you guys, but he gets bored, so he has to do it.
That's terrible instigation. I ain't gonna lie. That's bad.
How bad is that instigation, Mars, on a scale from 1 to 10?
Anthony, that's basically what he said, right?
How is that instigation, Mars?
That's like just dub level of just ugh.
Mars, think about it is I don't like instigating. I'll just call things how I see them.
You just did it, Ron. You just did it. Super
Ron.
chats, Ron.
Super
Focus.
chats.
Got you. Cultured Saunders said Shanghai Sharks going to be fired next season.
Because of Klay.
Klay and Killian Hayes. Ooh.
These dudes is foul.
That backcourt gonna be hitting. Oof.
I'm sorry.
Cultured Saunders also said Draymond to the UFC fire.
He wanted to crash out last night so bad.
Yo, y'all had me crying during that playback.
It was coming, Hawk. It was
He was on the verge, bro.
Two more threes in a turnover. No, it was a back off from the ref.
You saw it.
You see, he grabbed Trey Lyles up. He was getting ready to pivot his hips like this. And at the last minute, he just said, my bad. He was about to take him up top to the 10th floor round. He was about to pick him up and boom, suplex.
Get Draymond off the floor.
Oh,
Harry said dual citizenship, guys. He's American and Cameroonian.
Thanks for explaining that to us, Harry. We had no idea.
Thank you. Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate you, my guy.
Good looking, H. Izzy World said, I would rather have Klay over Tim Hardaway Jr. for the Mavs.
He gonna join them in Shanghai too.
Oh, damn.
I seen Tim Hardaway Sr. say that the issue is they ain't using his son correctly. The issue is they're using him too. He should have.
How many open shots? Nope. You're not doing that.
Nah, he's saying his son needs the ball.
Yo, you about to crash out like Draymond at the end of the game last night.
Hey, Chill looking unstable right now, man.
Actually, I am actually quite
W pops.
I could go straight off the rails right here, but I'm not going to do that. I'm sorry, Ron. As you were saying,
he's just trying to buy us with the last more seasons.
Super me up with the last super chat of the day. He said, "What is open gym and press box schedule?" Open gym is at the same time.
I thought he was gonna bring out the graphic. Okay.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, open gym is at the same time. It's just on Tuesdays. It's gonna be on Playback, just like the rest of these shows. You see it? Monday we got PC football. Tuesday we got open gym, and well, PC football is actually press box now. So we got PC football, aka press box, on Playback on Mondays. Friday you got NBA X on Playback. Saturday, Chill with Chill is on Play. The best show on the network, Chill with Chill, is on Playback. And then on Sunday, From the Logo. There you go. That's the new schedule. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, or on Thursdays and Fridays, Open Gym will be at the same time on YouTube.
Hey, good job, Ron. Way to take your health into consideration.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You just worry about hiding from Pirate because he knows where you live. And
still, we need that money.
Hey, bro, look, Ox.
Yeah, my money.
If you trying to have another son or daughter, now would be the time to go ahead and do that. You got a few days, so go ahead and get.
Don't worry about me, man. Don't worry about that.
No doubt. Hey, yo, Anthony, appreciate you for coming on. Tell the people where they can find you, where they can follow you at, and where they can see all the good stuff you're doing.
I appreciate y'all having me on, man. Y'all got a dope thing going, man. I've been watching y'all watching y'all grow. And it's been real being on here, man. Y'all really be on y'all stuff, and y'all moving the culture forward, man. So I appreciate y'all having me on. Y'all can follow up at Swish Cultures, at Swish Cultures. On my personal is at AntGoods87. And yeah, man.
Hey, Ant, come get your man from the bar, yo. Don't have me walking out with a 4. Come get your man from the bar.
We got Atlanta and Heat culture. Magic City and Heat culture.
Don't do that to your man, yo.
Magic City and Heat culture.
That's all I'm asking. Just come get your man from the bar. Don't have me walking out with a 4 and you go shit.
I got you. Just
please.
Hey, just
thank you.
Take her home. Holla at me tomorrow. You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? No top 10s around. What you doing today?
Hey, Ron, I got to bounce, brother. Hey, fellas, I'll see you dudes tomorrow.
Doing his job.
All right. Yo, Anthony, you got 10 more minutes?
Yeah, what's happening?
All right, man. We got to hear this top 10 from you. Top 10 all-time players.
Oh, the top 10? What did I?
Yeah.
All right. So I had my top 10 was obviously, man. I had to do it more so from my era, man. I don't really like speaking on players I didn't really see like that, but I do respect their impact. But I had Jordan, Kobe, Bron, Kareem, Bird, Magic, Duncan, Russell, Shaq, and Wilt.
Say that one more time. And this is in order, right?
Yeah, this is my order. This is my order. Jordan, Kobe, Bron, Kareem, Bird, Magic, Duncan, Russell, Shaq, and Wilt.
I kind of zoned out.
I think that's solid. I'm gonna be honest. I think
I like that.
I zoned out after 3 because you got Kobe over Bron.
Yeah,
and that's crazy for niggas that don't know hoop. Kobe's better than Bron. I'll rock Anthony. That's a dub.
I thought he was gonna start hating on. I thought he was gonna start hating on Kareem at 4. I was waiting for you to be like, "Oh, Kareem's the good."
Oh, nah. He got Kobe over Bron. That's all right. That's cool. That's cool.
I think the list solid. Bill Russell should have been a bit higher, but other than that, it's cool.
I mean, I look at Russ, like obviously he won all the championships and things like that. He had his moment of dominance, but I mean, the guys I got ahead of them, I felt like they moved the entire culture of like basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Russell.
Bill Russell just moved the culture.
I wasn't around. I wasn't.
Yeah, that's another.
I mean, but like Russ had a squad. He had a lot of other things around him. I mean, we've seen Jordan, we've seen Bron, we've seen Kobe do it with a lot less. You know what I mean? I think that and I think Bird, when you look at Bird for the style of play that basketball was back then, his lack of athleticism, his mentality, I think Bird was on another level as well.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that for sure. I like that you got Bird over Magic. That's a high.
Nah, I mean, I think just because of the handicap, man, and yeah, Tim Duncan, but yeah,
where'd you have Tim Duncan at?
I had him behind Magic.
7.
Okay.
7. Yeah, I like that list. I got that's my 10 except for no Wilt, no Russ. I don't rank those. I just don't rank those two. I know they're the greats, but I just I want to put two more different guys in there. I got Hakeem in mind.
Okay.
Hakeem and who else?
Nah, Hakeem was tough.
Hakeem and Scotty.
Scottie Pippen, what are you talking about? Come on,
Hakeem and Scotty, man. Come on.
All right, for sure. Well, yeah, once again, appreciate you for pulling up. Y'all, if y'all not following Swish Cultures, go follow right now. If you're a real hooper and you like hoop content and stuff if you're just a basketball fan in general, you're going to like what he's doing. You're going to like what they're doing over there. Go ahead and hit that follow button. Tomorrow, we're going to be back. Ticket versus swipe it tomorrow. Yeah, y'all get ready because it's going down tomorrow. And we're going to come and turn up as usual, per usual. Y'all be easy. Later today, Playback. We're going to watch the Miami and Philly game. And also Chill with Chill coming a little later too. Y'all tap in.
Merry Christmas.